Okay, no, it's been a while. Yo, guys, yo, guys, yo, guys, yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, RDS here, back again, and I'm joined by the amazing Eddie from Eddie's Football's Waffles. Eddie, bro, how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing all right, man. Like I was saying backstage, it's good to have the football back. You know, we've been missing it. I mean, we've been entertained by some football, Club World Cup football, but it's always good to have the bread and butter back, man. Premier League. So yeah, man, thanks for having me on, and big up to
No, no problem. Remember, guys, if for those who are watching, if you are new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, Red Devil Studio X. We're also on Twitch and Kick Instagram as well. And make sure you follow Eddie on his handles as well. The links are in the description, and we'll plug them again during the show as well. So let's just quickly, before we get into the season preview, guys, let's quickly actually just quickly touch, as you can see, and this was breaking a few hours ago. So, but I think it's important as we go into our season's expectations show. Ornstein, you know, the United have been linked with BALEBA for a while. They broke that you need the midfielder. I was really, as someone who was obviously happy with largely happy with the forward signings, someone who was really, really happy to hear about BALEBA and getting a midfielder who would potentially change things. To hear Ornstein and later Fabrizio say that indirect and direct contact between clubs with Brighton clear not for sale and level fee to consider deal too high, which doesn't make sense to me. It's like not for sale, but level fee is high, so he is for sale. Oh well, not for sale, but I mean we could get him if we had loads of money, basically. 21 million for keen on Man Utd, but not unhappy at Brighton, you know. So you know, it's a shame. It's ideal, and it does worry me going into this season when we actually have, for me anyway, a midfielder is one of the weak points. I think all of the top four teams have balanced midfields. Chelsea's midfield, I speak, is balanced. So is Liverpool's. So is City's. So is Arsenal's. Even Newcastle considered both midfields. Our midfield is basically looks like it's going to be either Casemiro or Ugarte. I don't know. With Bruno, who's going to be dropping deep because we need to fit Kune, Mbeumo, Sesko, and Mount, apparently, you know. So the lack, I hope this leads, I hope this doesn't mean that we're not going to sign a midfielder, but the fact that we're not going for BALEBA, who, yes, people can say we can get him next summer. He's not going to wait for us next summer. There'll be a lot more teams that are there. A year can change a lot. And, you know, you get a new manager in and suddenly it's a different story. So before we get into, like I said, the expectation of the season, like, what do you just think about this whole sort of BALEBA situation?
Yeah, there's a number of things going through my mind there. I mean, obviously, I was thinking about alternatives, and we say like what is it? Strikers are like gold dust nowadays. I'm just trying to think for Man United, who is like a top midfielder, but like one that United could get without the Champions League football. I know there's still the draw of it's Man United's a big draw, so you know the heritage brings players. You know, we've seen that with in comparison to Newcastle, but it's like, yeah, I was trying to look on Google that for midfielders. I'm like, oh, there's. I'm looking for top midfielders. It says Pedri and people like that obviously is not in the realm of Man United getting players like that. So it's disappointing, but it's like, yeah, obviously if Man United really wanted them, they could overpay. But if they're saying not for sale, right, it's going to be just too much money, like way above 100 million, isn't it? And that's BALEBA is not going to. BALEBA's good, but he's not going to be worth over 100 million. So yeah, the transfer market is getting ridiculous. There was one midfielder that came to mind. It's like I was thinking of people like that just have legs, isn't it? Because if you're playing two people in midfield, you need legs, isn't it? You mentioned Casemiro. We already know about this guy, and his legs are better than that. Bruno's got legs in there, but he's still doing the thing where, like, I've seen him in preseason. Sometimes I don't know if it's as much as because I really watched highlights, but I've seen certain highlights where Bruno is running past the tens. So it's like Casemiro is going to be left on the island by himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was actually about to make a point about there's people like Decore that I was just thinking of that's been mentioned, but I don't know if that guy is proper level. He's got legs, but that's just the profile I was thinking of. That Man United needed someone that's like got legs, right? And Africans are known for having that kind of fitness in midfield. So yeah, I'm not even sure about what alternatives could be got, man. Like, what are you thinking of, Eddie, that are possible?
I mean, I don't know how much Adam Wharton would be from Crystal Palace. That's obviously one that the guy's been quite rated. So I wouldn't mind that. But again, I don't know how much Crystal Palace want. If I think Crystal Palace can part way with 60 mil, then for him, then I think that would be a reasonable signing.
How old is he, by the way?
I think he's in a similar age bracket to BALEBA. I don't think he's above. Let me just double check. But let's have a look. How old is he? Let's have a look. Yeah, 21 years old, so just a younger, you know. So, you know, I if we were to somehow get a reasonable offer from give a reasonable offer to Crystal Palace, and they'll say, then yeah, why not?
60 million sounds all right if he's. I've not seen enough of him, but from what I've seen, he looks like he's got something in it. Like he wouldn't be picked for the England team for nothing as well. And
I mean,
play good in these finals that we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I mean, I can't. But the way I see it is that like it's better than having Casemiro and Bruno there. So I know Bruno is probably going to play, and we're going to probably get into. I'm going to maybe allude to this when we get to the Amorims survive thing, because I generally think that Ruben Amorims will live or die by his love of Portuguese players or whatever, specifically Dalot and more specifically Bruno. Because obviously Bruno could have gone to Saudi, 100 mil, whatever, wanted to stay, should stay. Okay, fine. But you're making him stay, and you're making him stay by playing him in a deeper position when he can't. I'm not saying he can't play there, but I don't know. I've legs, the discipline, I've just not seen it with Bruno, So unless he's going to have a arrangement with one of the number 10s to replace him if he goes up. I just don't see. And then who's playing next to him? Okay, fine. Bruno does that. That's okay. Who's the guy who's got legs next to him? Casemiro. What, really? And we've not really seen what he thinks of Mainu. Or I'd like to think it should be Bruno and Mainu. But we saw so many times last season, we just kept on getting bypassed all the time. Mainu got bypassed, everyone got bypassed, and then suddenly, it's the back, you're against the back three or whatever it is. The other two have bombed up. There's no one sort of coming into cover, and then we're in problems. So we're still conceding. Can
I just say real quickly before I forget, right, bro? It seems like with this the 3-4-3, right? If a midfielder goes from the holding position, it seems like the wing backs should like move closer to the middle to saturate that midfield. It could work if Bruno is overlapping and doing his pressing, but then the others have to come. The wing backs have to close in, don't they? Come back, but I don't see that happening, because like you mentioned Mainu, and that just worried me. I'm like, if he gets left on the island by himself, he's not got the legs. And then I was thinking about Ugarte. Obviously, we know about him, but surely for that money they've paid for him, he's gonna improve this season and show that he's better than what people say. Because I keep hearing, Ugarte can't pass. It's like, come on, man. Surely got to be that in there for the amount of money they paid for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it goes back to a certain extent to Ten Hag and what he established, because aside from obviously Xerxes still here, who else is still here? Martinez is still here, but I don't even know where Lisandro when he gets back. So I think he's still recovering. I don't even know where Lisandro Martinez would fit, even though I actually do think, weirdly, Lisandro playing actually does help us because he's able to carry the ball forward from the defense to midfield. He's actually able to slot into that midfield position. And then if Bruno then does go off and sort of, do his thing, so he was one of the reasons I actually think why we actually won that final against City, the FA Cup that actually got us in the Europa League final in the first place. I think a lot of it was actually him being able to come back. So I think it was a massive miss. Whether he'll be the same player or not, like,
I was about to say, bro, it's the knee injuries he's had, right? And I think those are hard to come back from, aren't they? Because it's like your knee is not the same as muscle, right? You're a doctor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's harder for joints to get that flexibility back as opposed to like if it's just a muscle injury, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna have enough speed or tenacity because that's part of his game is tenacity. So I'm scared, man. I'm scared for him for his career because he looked like he was going to be, the next
good
defender.
Good. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's a one. So, and I don't know how the club is basically going to fix it. I really don't know. Abdullah, big up, man. Hope you're doing well, man. I don't know. All I know is that I think if we go into the season with the signs we have now, yes, I think our attack is better. And so I think that, if we're going into this season, compared to last season where we did create a lot of chances and couldn't put them away, I think at least we'll improve from that perspective. From who should be finishing, more of our chances. But I still think that we'll be giving too much opportunity and too much control to our opponents. And if we're not going to get BALEBA, we need to at least get our midfielder, from somewhere that can basically help us out. If we aren't, I think we're in trouble. But
because those two at the top are going to starve, man. If you can't get control of the game, and then they just have to rely on the counter, right? It's just they're not even obviously. We've seen how good Cunha and Bromo are, and then Sesko. I've seen the highlights and stuff like that, but it's like for me, it just looks like they're good on paper, but obviously you need to play good together, don't you? So how long is it going to take for them to develop that chemistry? That's the big question for me.
Yeah, I mean, as well as the fact that I just think that it would have been nice in an ideal world had we had all those players, all those signings before preseason. I think that's what Amram wanted, but we didn't get that. We got Cunha obviously fairly close to the beginning, and Buemo, I think, just got to the end tour, but he's only played like one game, maybe two. I think 2 games, I think. And then obviously we just signed Sesko, who's we just signed him. So it's not like we've even had a preseason where we've actually been playing with a striker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It just gives me a little bit of PTSD from the Hoyland signing where like he wasn't ready. I know it's different because he was injured, but it's another young striker, not really ready yet for a high price. There's going to be the same amount of pressure. So yeah, either sinks or swims, man. We're going to see. Can I just say quickly, Abdallah in the comments is firing off, right? Why do people keep saying that Amorim's system ain't built for his league?
Amorim's system ain't built for the league. Amorim's style and system is more built for Syria, and I do kind of see that. I do see what you're saying about what's being meant for Syria with this whole free. But the thing is that like Abdullah, as you know, Palace played that system. They beat you in the FA Cup final.
That's what I was going to say.
So it's. I think we get too caught. The biggest issue. I'll get to Amorim towards the end, whether he'll survive or not. But for me, the biggest issue of Amorim, for me, that needs to change the season is that he needs to be adaptable. So yes, you can have your philosophy, but fundamentally, if you're losing the game, you have to adapt. I don't care what philosophy you have or how much faith you have in philosophy. Why I rate Sir Alex Ferguson and other managers is that when they were losing, when it wasn't working, you change to adapt. In that final, in that Europa League, I was like, you've not changed anything.
Yeah, it was just subs.
Just subs and change that really didn't really do anything. Like it just felt like it didn't feel like a manager that needs to go out and win a game and throw everything out the kitchen sink. It was like, my philosophy of the highway, like that stubbornness, like for me, is what ends up getting you sacked.
Don't you think that's kind of weird, RDS? Like, because he's a young manager, yeah, but like, isn't it older managers that tend to be stuck in their ways and tend to be stubborn? He's already showing the stubborn traits, like, so surely he can grow and adapt to the division. He has to, like you're saying, because it's just going to be more of the same of this painful football.
You can't have two midfielders with the personnel that you have. We don't have the right midfield personnel. I agree with you that. You need two midfielders and double pivots. Let someone field one midfielder. I don't think we necessarily need two holding midfielders per se, but I see your point. And right now, we don't. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I agree that if Bruno and Casemiro playing in the two, it's not going to work in this system. Like it just can't work. Can't work. So from that perspective, I definitely agree. What we can do to change it, I don't know.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'd love to see if Amorim could change that 3-4-3 sometimes to like a 3-5-2, where it's going to be hard because you just bought Sesko, but it would be great if that striker could invert into like a false nine, so that you could have the two holding midfielders just cover, right, and then you have your wing forwards or your inside forwards get through and get your chances. But we saw Amorim try something kind of similar where he had Manu false nine, right? Tried it for one game. I know it went wrong, but it's like there was like I think maybe 20 minutes of potential there, where was it against Palace? I think it was maybe against Palace, right? And it's like okay, you lost the game, but you can't just get instant success, isn't it? You got to try it again. You got to practice it. So it's kind of similar to what Ten Hag did, because Ten Hag did something where you changed tactics, got beaten, and then went, okay, I'm going to be pragmatic. I'm going to play some terrorist football. So I don't know. The pressure is going to. I don't know how Amorim's going to handle the pressure, because it's going to be on this season, isn't it?
I meant like two common midfielders and double pivot, like a 6 and 8. Yeah, and Bruno. Yeah, I agree. Bruno's a 10 playing 6, which can't happen. Yeah, I agree. I agree. If he starts, if the midfield is going to be Bruno and Casemiro for the season, we're going to be in trouble. Like that's the thing. So either you have to do something with Manu, which I've not seen so far, or you have Garte is a 6. And then, like I said, Bruno's effectively a 10. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what these. And then also you want to somehow get Mount in there. So does that, if you're going to get, if Mount's going to play, then what are you going to drop? Kune and Mbuemo? Like, are you going to alternate between them? You've also got Xerxes as well. So I don't know. Big up.
Cunha. Did you say Cunha or what did you say? Did he drop Cunha, right?
Cunha, yeah. Whether he drops him, and because like I said, Mount's been playing, and everyone seems to like Mount, so Mount's gonna be fitted somewhere. You know what I mean? So like we've actually got how many number 10s? 4 number 10s. You could argue Ahmad could be a 5th, but he's gonna be playing at wing back. Mount, Bruno, Cunha, and Mbuemo. And they've all big up, Soda. How are you doing? Thanks for joining, Soda. Get your questions in as well, If you have questions for the panel, please get the questions in. We'll address them as well.
Yeah, big up, Carol, man. Big up.
I don't know.
Can I just say quickly with the Mount thing? Has he played that holding midfield?
Mason Mount can play in the midfield according to Room. Stop, Mishran. Did he actually say that? I hope he didn't say that.
But you know what, RDS, real quick though, he seems like he could have some traits for that, because you know how he likes the link up play, just keep it simple, right? If he's got a 6 alongside him like Ugarte, right? Couldn't he be
Okay,
doing defensive work?
but where's Bruno going to play though? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, this is where
This is the thing. It's like if Bruno is the captain. So part of the struggle is Bruno's the captain. Bruno's got to play. So how am I going to fit Bruno in? Right. Okay. Well, I'm not going to play him as not one of the number 10s. So for me, the only way this works is if you drop one of Kune and Mbeumo. You alternate with them because Sesko will start presumably, and you've still got Xerxes. So you've got to drop one of them, put Bruno with, and then you can play Mount. Even though I don't think you can play Bruno, Mount, and Sergar together, I still don't think that works well. But if you're gonna fit it, then you'll do something like that. Oh, he said, yes, he said it in his press conference. Oh my goodness, man. Right. let's. I'm gonna save the Ruben Amorims stuff until after the 11 because I'm stuff like that is actually worrying me. Stuff like that is it's the same Manchester United that we've been having for the last 10 years, where unlike other competent clubs, because we can't get the right players out of the position, we now begin to makeshift players to fit positions so that we can accommodate players that are managers' favorites, whilst at the same time factoring that we don't have the money. Like, why is it that every season it's the same thing? Oh, we didn't have a left back, right? We've got to makeshift Dallo to kind of compensate for the lack of a left back. And no, we don't have a holding midfielder, so we have to play Bruno, Fred, and McTominay together to kind of like this. This always happens. Like, I don't get it why United or every other club, especially the top of course, they have players for the specific positions to play where they are. They don't have to get someone unless there's like a massive injury, and then they have the depth on top of that. United don't. It's strange. It's strange.
This is why I'm so like my support for Man United has gone down. Like I said to you in the messages I was sending to you, I'm reserved a bit, right, with my support, because this club needs to show that they can identify talent in terms of managers and players, and then stick with it. Even when a manager doesn't work, you get another similar manager, because everything you've just described is the Frankenstein process we've seen for so many years, right? Where it's like there was players being bought for 4-3-3, right? Back Ten Hag for the 4-3-3 for a couple of years, and then you're going to change to 3-4-3.
Yeah,
where you need to get rid of your wingers, get rid of certain players, and then, like you said, all these 10s are in the team. It's just
exactly. I mean, Rashford essentially in his interview, fair play to him. He's doing a boss. He basically said those exact same things. It's like, you know, the lack of identity, the kind of constant sack of managers. So for me, you know, it's the question. You're essentially in a situation where you're just like, you know, we have to, whatever happens, we have to persevere with it, because if this fails, then what are we going to do? I don't know many managers that play free. Like play 3-4-2, 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1, whatever. I don't. So then you've now sold Garnacho, you've now sold Sancho, now let Anthony go, and then you're now going to bring, and then the new manager comes and says, "Oh, actually, no, I play 4-3-3. So now I need wingers, and then the only wingers I have are, well, I guess Mbeumo and Cunha can play on the wing, sort of, and Ahmad." And that's it. I don't know. We don't think if we let all those ones go, we don't have any unless we count academies, youth, etc. So, you know.
Yeah. So if Ineos, just real quickly, if Ineos know what they're doing, they're like let's say Amorims is messing about, you'd get someone like Glasner that's playing the system, right? You won't just go and get, let's go and get I don't know. Who's out there? Flipping...
Well, to be honest, I said I always thought it was silly that we got Ruben Amorim after Ten Hag, and they're the ones, because Ruben Amorim was like, well, no, I'd rather prefer to come at the end of the season. The Ineos were like, no, you have to come or else the opportunity won't go us away. So they rushed it, got him in, not his system, not his players, and you know, it was a mess. It was a mess.
Can I just say big up to Matty in the comments real quick, man. He's
Big up,
always
Matty.
following me. He's always following, man. Big up to him.
Big up, Matty. He's Nietzsche Francis. He's shoehorning in all his favorites. We needed BALEBA more than anything else. BALEBA is a once-lifetime player. He's an X between Caicedo and Seedorf. I mean, that's a comment. We needed him. The fact, like I said, the fact that we're not going to get him this summer for me is a problem. And I'm not saying that we're going to have a disaster season, but we'll get. Well, in fact, let's move actually to the next bit, which is the kind of season expectations. And I'll just share this tab here. I mean, obviously, these are our signings so far. We revamped the attack. Our only out.
Sesko's tall, man.
I know. I just looked at it and I was like, geez, this guy's. I mean, I hope that means that we can get a striker can give some headers for once.
Headers. Have you seen this jump as well? I've been seeing some of them. Some videos online, man. You got a really big like basketball jump.
Yeah, we need that because aside from Harry Maguire doing his doing his head, we actually need someone else who can like McTominay could do it as well when he was here. Like we don't really have many other. Casemiro, I think, could head as well, but yeah, aside from those two, I don't. And maybe and De Ligt as well can head. Yeah, so basically the defenders, like it would be nice to have a striker, who can like head the ball and can do something, etc. So let me just read the comments and we'll get into the detail. Square pegs in round hole, says Matty. Rashford was spot on, which he was. Ninja says we've lost potentially the best midfielder more times if we don't get. Yeah, I know, because next summer, you no doubt, unless we get CL football. You have no doubt City and others will go. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if City go for him this transfer window. If they can get the money for Savino, I wouldn't be surprised. Big up Thomas, hit the like button, subscribe for new. Yep, please subscribe, hit the like button for you new guys, please.
I'll just say thanks to Atomic for putting my link in the comments as well, man. Thank you.
Awesome, has he? Yes, awesome. Yeah, thanks Atomic. Thanks. This is why I have. We have good mods, so and you're also right making your mod atonement. So thank you. We should have got BALEBA next summer. A lot of big teams will want BALEBA, and price will go exactly, which is what Brighton wanted. Brighton wanted a bidding war. They didn't want a situation where United it was just one club. They wanted that's why they did with Caicedo. It was Liverpool, Chelsea. At one point his fee was 80 million. Then it went to 120 million, and Brighton were like. Easy money because they were outbidding each other. Simple as that.
So what's the relegation going to be like for BALEBA then next summer? Like what, 150 or something? If he has another good season as well.
Obviously, it depends on who's in from. Because I would be very surprised if Liverpool or Chelsea next season need to sign a new midfielder. So I think the only people I think that would maybe. I'm not sure about Arsenal. Maybe Arsenal would, but Arsenal don't tend to spend 120 plus million, etc. Something. So really, I think it would only really be City or someone else, like if he catches the attention of Madrid or PSG or something like that as well. But
could you imagine Chelsea getting greedy again and saying, okay, you know what, let's have Caicedo and BALEBA in there. That would be madness. No,
it'll be would they spend which else? Maybe they would. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they would. So Adam Walton, Amadou Onana, we see if they're going. So yeah, Amadou Onana, okay, fine, yeah. Vasman go to AC Milan, but we are trying to Manchester Sesko is 6'5". It's just we will get 10. Yeah, it can't be any worse. It can't be any worse. It can't be any worse.
You know what? People have to stop saying that because we know it could be.
It can be
championship settings, so
it can be worse.
Let's not say
it. It can be worse. It can be worse. He's not an out striker. Likes drop deep and gets involved in play. Is that Sesko talking about here?
I think it is. It must be, isn't it? Because we already know that Mbeumo and Cunha are going to be the 10s. So that's what I'm saying. This is what I was saying earlier. If Amram could sometimes do that 3-5-2, where you tuck in the striker and then boom, you got Mbeumo and Cunha getting in behind.
Yeah,
catch the opposition off guard.
No. No, definitely. Lucky says we're going to see a more time if open. So well, let's see, Lucky. Let's see. A certain place we'll get, which will be good. I completely agree that City from this window after we've walked. Oh yeah, I think City. I have a feeling City might do it. I have a feeling as well. BALEBA and Caicedo would be if Chelsea did that and got BALEBA and I said I think that would be stupid. That would be stupid. That
They're
would
getting
definitely
better every time, aren't they? The world champions, so the confidence will be there.
yeah.
Well, so it's like, yeah,
I would love them to implode this season. I would love them to implode, but I suspect that's not going to happen. So, but I mean, we've got these signings. We've obviously ramped to attack. Rashford is gone. Garnacho is likely to be gone soon as well. So, what would you? And obviously, chat. In fact, I'll put a poll. I'm going to end this poll. Okay, so I'll end this poll quickly and say, are Manchester United in danger if we don't sign a midfielder? 94% of you said yes, and 6% said no. So we're all agree there. So I'm going to add a poll and say, where do you think United will finish this season? And I'll hand it over to you, Eddy, while I set this up. Well, first and foremost, what are your... Actually, hold up. Why? I'm just looking at myself in the... 1 second. I've just realized on the video. Guys, can you see me on the... I've just realized, looking at... I can see myself in the camera, but can you guys see me? I've just looked. I'm like, I'm all black on the thing. I'm just like, let me just... Guys, give me 1 second. I've just realized this. Sorry.
I thought you meant to do that,
No. I was like, I'm supposed to see. Like, sorry, guys. Yeah, no, we can't see a video. Yeah, it's like 34 minutes in, and no one told me they can't see it. Because I can see myself in the studio, but no one can see me. No wonder. Right, okay, let me just...
assuming, it's going to be on your side that you can see yourself as well, but...
Okay, let me see. Has that worked?
No, it's still black screen.
Am I still black? Still black screen, right. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this.
All right, guys, keep hitting the like button. We're having a bit of technical difficulties. RDS, maybe he's got a new webcam that's not really working at the moment. So just... Oh, okay, here we go. What was it? Is it a new webcam or something?
That worked?
Yeah, you're here.
I literally don't know. I just basically just turned it off and I just did it. Just turned it off and switched it on again. It's literally it's my laptop camera. So I don't know. I've streamed with it before, so it's not a new camera or change or something. It's weird. Like it's just funny that like I've been streaming for half an hour and like literally no one has seen my face. You've heard my voice because my mic is on, but literally no one has seen my face on. That's crazy, my God. Guys, I'm sorry. I am here. Like I did want you to see me, So like, yeah, no. But hey, guys, it's Old Man G here. Audience. Oh God, sorry about that, guys. J Twist, nice black screen. Yeah.
You know what? You know what I thought? Yeah, I thought because when you go on the HH's channel, right?
Yeah.
You don't turn on
the camera. Yeah. So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I think you're just doing that for your stream, but
but
it was just
no. Usually I think, but like I said, in here I could see it, so I was like seeing the video. But I just looked at my phone, which I sometimes use the stream so I can check the chat, and I was like, wait, I've got a black screen. What's going on? Anyway, thank you. We can see you now. Thank you so much. So we're back. Jados again says we can't be watching Dugarte in midfield this year. Maximum top 8.
He's got to play though. 60 million on him. Come on, he's got to do something this season.
So, I'm sorry. While I'm doing that, so Eddy, I'll hand over to you. What are your season expectations? While I just put the poll into the chat.
That's a really hard question, man, because obviously, in pre-season, right, I was watching some of it, and I was like, I was liking the there's a higher energy, right? The team it seems that they know what they're doing during the press, the counter press. Right? I was like, I'm thinking, okay, they look a bit more organized. But then, like we were saying earlier, it's like it's the issue of the midfield. You for loads of things in life, man, you need your engine room to be supplying service for everything else, man. Obviously, there's a lot of football where you play from the back, but then midfield is what is gonna run the game. So what I can see is Man United being stifled and having to go to what is the identity that's permeated a lot of seasons, and that is the counter attack. We've heard that Šeško can play well on that transition. Okay, that's good, but Amorim, surely, I'm not a coach, but like this is fun culture. We can see a lot of stuff on the eye test where there's a lot of things that can improve. If Amorim can make it so one of the strikers, one of the 10s can tuck in that midfield and help out, then maybe there might be a chance for Man United to get some respect on their name. There's a lot of optimism I've seen going around on YouTube. A lot of people expecting just an amazing turnaround, a bit like, like Nottingham Forest, where a couple of seasons ago they were like in the relegation battle, and then all of a sudden, Europa League qualification settings, or they possibly, what I mean, they almost got the Champions League qualification. It's like that's not a formula, that's an exception, because come on, we see the way they play football. It's not really sustainable the way they do that kind of pragmatic stuff. I think they're going to get found out, because a lot of people will start respecting them, and they will drop deep. And then what are they going to? How are Nottingham Forest going to play against low blocks? And then you have to say that about Man United. How are they going to play against people that are going to do low blocks, or teams that are going to have that midfield? How many times were Man United getting bopped off the park last season before that? There's a culture developed of Man United not being dons of midfield, right? And then obviously being known for negative goal difference now. So that I would love it to just, you know what I mean? As a legacy Man United fan, I would love it to just turn around and be like, okay, just plug in these 3 forwards that we see on the screen, like we're playing FIFA or EA FC. If we're playing that, plug in these forwards, turn on. It's not going to be that simple. So my expectations, right? I'm going to say a prediction now, but really, I have to see these guys play under the lights, as they say. You have to see some pressure properly. I have to see these guys play under that pressure. But is that what? So you wanted a position, right? A prediction for a position.
Yeah, well, I mean, not. So I think a combination. I think one, where will we finish? And then I think 2, because we're not in Europe, obviously. So what about like cups? So FA Cup, like Carabao Cup, for example.
I think people will disagree. I think people will disagree with me, right? But I'm tired of Carabao Cup, FA Cup. I don't think these are majors, right? I don't think. I may be blaspheming.
It's sort of like the thing with the Carabao Cup is that if you're not like in like the semi-final of the Champions League, and if you're not competing for like the Premier League title, it's a nice trophy to have, to be like, okay, we've achieved something this season. That's basically like the purpose of the FA Cup. And aside from like European qualification for different things, it's basically something like what it is basically to say, of course you're not competing for the Premier League, of course you're not competing for the Champions League, but hey ho, you've had a decent season, you've got some silverware, which like other clubs don't, because it's better to finish in the season with a trophy than not a trophy, which I do agree with, because as much as I think Arsenal are a far superior team to us United right now, and are in the Champions League and doing their thing, it's not going to mean anything if like every single season they just get second or third semi, and they don't have anything.
I get that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, they need something to show for it. Yeah, they have to have that, so you reinforce your confidence. So you're not just on the improvement project, right? But with Man United, it's like it's almost 2 extremes. Man United are we're gonna be embarrassed. We're gonna embarrass ourselves in the league, but hey, we're gonna get the exception of a trophy. So that means we technically have a successful or more successful season than Arsenal. I'm like, for me, now I those are not metrics for me, right? If you're getting closer to getting relegated each season, but you're getting cups, that means nothing to me, because I know people like I think it was Wigan, right? They won the FA Cup, then relegated. But still, that can happen if you're playing. You know, if Man United are going to play bad football like Wigan, which they do, right at the moment, you're going to get relegated. So the cups, for me, obviously it'll go down in history, but for now, it's like you've got no formula. So if we come back to the expectations, right? I'm hoping that the priority is getting the football right in the league, right? And then if you need to rest the players for the cups, I'm not saying just sacrifice cups, right? But priority should be getting better in the league, right? So you're setting up that formula to build towards the Champions Leagues, right? And winning in style. I'm a football fan that likes to watch football, not just I'm going to look at the results.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm about the spectacle as well. That's what got fans like me watching football. I was like, my older brother used to support Man United, right? I was like a kid, I was like 10. I'm like, okay, they're winning. Man United are winning. Let me watch. I enjoyed the game, so I'm like, I'm all in. If I didn't enjoy the games, I wouldn't care if they were winning, right? It's entertainment. You have a balance of entertainment and winning. The other big teams have that. PSG entertaining, right? There's other teams that do this. So yeah, coming back to expectations, man. I just think realistically, it will be about Man United trying to get back into the top 10, right? You could criticize me for having low expectations, but this team finished 15th. We have to keep remembering that. Even if these guys beat Arsenal on the first day and then everyone's up and happy and cool. It's good to have that kind of elation, right? We need that as fans, but
I do need a bit of AFT humbling for the beginning of the season. It would be nice to have just a little bit, because I've already seen their previews, their videos, the previews of thing. I'm just like, these guys need to be humbled, man. I like it. There's nothing that's going to bring me a smile on my face if Sesko scores a Hattie and Jocko scores 0. You know, the agendas will be out. I do take your point, though. You know what I mean? Like, I 100%, because you're right. I just don't think that, and I'll come to your comments in a second. I just don't think that, just like a Carabao or an FA Cup, like second or third place and an FA Cup. Oh yeah, happy days. No problem. Like I will take that as a successful season. If we get top 4, top 5, I suspect it will, because I do think, and we'll get to the Premier League position in a second, that I do think because there's essentially like 9 PL 8, is it 8? Yeah, I think 8 or 9. 8 or 9 teams in Europe from the Premier League. There's 5 in the CL, then there's 2 in the Europa League, and 1 in the Conference League. Okay, so it is 8. It's not 9. Yeah, I think it's 8. Was it 6?
I think it's 8. I've heard 8.
It's 8. Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to think. Is it? Why am I thinking 9 for some reason? Yeah, I think it's 8. But anyway, so because of that, the sheer number, I do think that the PL will probably get another Champions League spot. So I think 5th place will be Champions League spot again. So just because of the sheer number of Premier League teams in Europe, and the fact that I'm fairly sure that Liverpool, City, Arsenal, even Newcastle, are probably going to get through the group stages of the new League from Champions League. But anyway, the point being is that if we look at my expectations and United somehow get top 5 and they get a trophy, for me, that's a fantastic season. That is like the kind of like the anywhere in the top 5. Obviously, we're not going to get first, but anyone top 5 and a trophy is like would be a successful season for Manchester United.
But is that your realistic prediction, or is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that would be in my mind, my expectation in 1990 would be somewhere between 5th and 7th. So 5th and 7th with 0 trophy, that is my season expectation. So basically, European football of some sort, whether that's the 5th is the Champions League or the Europa League or Conference League, whatever it is.
So you can see Man United getting that with this lack of midfield.
I think so, and I guess this kind of crosses over with the Premier League expectations, but I think that the likes of Newcastle, Villa, and Forest are going to struggle, especially with the ones that are going to be having Europa League, Conference League football on the Thursday, and Newcastle with, I think, the lack of depth in the squad. I think those guys are going to. I don't think they're going to perform as well in the league. So I think the Forest, and especially the games, because remember, we're only going to have one game. We're not in Europe at all. So I just don't see. I mean, I could be wrong, but from what happened last time when some of these guys were in, you could see the noticeable drop off in the league when they had to try and balance and keep a squad fit over 38 games. Because it's one thing to be like, oh, players and Newcastle of course are a better squad and play. Yeah, of course, granted. But it's another thing to be like, yeah, but is this squad going to be able to compete in 4 competitions and be fit all the time up until next season, especially when you take into account, AFCON, other things as well that are going to disrupt, So I just think of a 30-game season. I wouldn't be surprised if the likes of Newcastle, Villa, and Forest drop off, even to a certain extent. Maybe I think Arsenal have got a decent squad that they'll be fine. Liverpool as well. Chelsea, I'm not 100% sure even yet, because even though I know they're the world champions, again, it's different. And what I noticed for Chelsea was that if they have injuries to Caicedo, Enzo, who have been injured, Lavia, who have been injured before, they struggle because they don't have midfield, they don't have good enough, in my opinion, midfielders in squad that can replace that depth that's there. So, and then as far as the other teams, okay, maybe Brighton can do their thing, so West Ham and others and stuff. But no, I just think that obviously Tottenham can do their thing as well, so they'll be there. But I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that I don't think the mid-table to bottom table teams are going to be as strong this year, and I think the teams that are strong are going to maybe potentially stumble, having to play additional Europa League, Conference League, and even Champions League football. So that's why I think 7 with a Manchester United side that doesn't have any European football commitments, that can just focus on the league for the most part and play, squad players. Yeah, why can't we finish? Why can't we finish top 7?
I just keep thinking of the FA Cup and Carabao being a distraction. I know they're not that many games, but after January, it can come to where you've got like 2 games in a week, right? With this lack of midfield that I keep coming back to, it's just, are Man United going to have enough for that fitness?
But we can always, throw. Because I mean, I don't know where Manchester United are. I mean, but depending on the position, if Manchester United are in December somehow we're top 5, then as far as I'm concerned, so then you throw away those competitions and you just focus on securing the highest top 5 position that you can, whatever that is, and put pressure, because you literally are. Because I cannot remember the last time Manchester United didn't play in Europe for a season. I cannot remember. So I don't know. So what I don't know is I don't know how Manchester United, how a team is going to be like when they don't have to manage 2 games almost every week. It probably does make a difference, So like you've got more rest, you've got more time to training, more time for planning strategy, or time for different things, you know. So
you know what? Just real quickly,
mm,
I hope United sort out this whole not interacting with the media too much. Because remember how many
mm,
interviews Amarim was
mm,
getting during that
mm,
first season? Maybe
mm,
it's because it was just his first season, but it's like
mm,
they've got to allow this manager to focus, because I reckon
mm,
that's a big tax on him not
mm,
having extra tactics. Maybe his
mm,
brain's just thinking about what am I going to say in the media, you know,
mm,
etc., etc.
mm, mm, mm. No, I don't disagree. Right, I'm going to get to comments. Well, first of all, I want to go to the poll. So it looks like, okay, so 20% so far on the poll, 20% of you think that we'll make top 4. 53% of you between 5th to 8th. Okay, so again, there's realism in this community, I think. And then there's 20% say 9th to 12th, and 7% say 13th to 16th, which is understandable considering where Manchester United finished. But I actually think that's a reasonable thing, because you know,
So sorry, the majority was 5th to 8th.
the majority was 5th to 8th. 5th to 8th, which again, I think that's a reasonable expectation when we bear in mind where we were last season, but also the fact that we made these signings, and also that we're not playing we're on average we're playing 1 game a week, you know. So I don't like, so realistically, you know, there can't be the excuse of, oh, we don't know. Okay, yeah, come Christmas time when games are thick and fast, I understand, but up until Christmas, and the Carabao starts, I think, in November, I think, you know, so we'll be in, you know, we'll probably play against some bum team or something. But
you know what? I just think that because there's so many new signings as well, that's a tax on what United can do, RDS, right? I remember when, what was it, Arsenal had just 1 game a week, and the people were expecting them to do quite a bit. But I think they were playing good football at the time. Their team was settled. This team is not settled, right? We've got to remember that. It's just the new players in there, and then how many times am I going to say lack of midfield, bro? It's just
I do think at least with Mbeumo and Kuna that they are Premier League proven. So like they are new signings and new players, but at least like it's not like, unlike other players, especially from Ten Hag, where most of the players that Ten Hag signed were all from the Eredivisie. They'd not played in the Premier League. They'd not had a sort of like, I think the only Premier League player that we'd signed on to Ten Hag was Christian Eriksen, but this was sometime after he'd done his thing. We didn't actually sign a Premier League player under Ten Hag that I can think of, you know, so had experience. It is nice to at least know that, like, no, we're not like Mbeumo scored like 25 goals in all competitions last season. Like, this is not like some guy who's gonna, like, of course, you know, to adjust to the team and stuff like that. It's fine, but that's why it's good that, you know, we've got 1 game a week, because you're going to be spending those time in those training sessions getting familiar with your team. But it's not like we're signing an Anthony who was balling in the Eredivisie and then came and was kind of okay but not. At least with we did sign Mount, but I mean Mount's still here, and Mount is just Mount for me. Mount's an enigma though, because every coach seems to like him, and I don't know why. You know, so Ten Hag liked him, Tuchel liked him, Amram likes him, so I don't know. Like, Mount is a strange.
I mean, he keeps it simple, isn't it? That's the thing. I reckon he just listens. He's like maybe like McTominay, just disciplined.
Yeah.
But there's a lack of talent
there,
well, like in terms of individual brilliance. By the way, Matty's name for Ten Hag is funny. That Volderhag. I just don't think we should blame managers too much all the time, because, you know, we know the people that buy players, right? They're the main guys that are in control of recruitment behind the scenes. I think sometimes they don't get enough blame as well. So you know,
I do have and hope to have faith that Mbeumo and Kune, when the season starts, that Mbeumo and Kune, you know, will show us something. Maybe it's you know, it's the Black Chester United in me or something like that, you know. So where we're starting to get some pace and power brothers in to kind of sort of, you know, give us some of that spice, and Sesko, so, you know, and Sesko, you know, like he's still young, he's still in player, there's still potential there, but it'll be interesting to see what he can do, you know. So I hope he doesn't flop. He doesn't sort of, he gets time. So, but it'll be interesting to see. So yeah. I mean, what are you guys saying in the comments quickly? Sorry. Let me quickly. So I'll go scroll back up. J2S with people run from midfield like cookers. Yeah, we definitely need to sort that out. Rajik, get new midfield in 2026. I think that's a bit too late, buddy. Big up Rasmus. Hello, you doing? We have to sign him. We do, whether we will or not. I don't know. I don't know. Otherwise, why would we let
to loan people in that are good?
You have a good point about Collie Erasmus. I don't know if it doesn't make. Well, it makes sense in the sense that we only need two midfield. We only have two midfield positions.
But he's really average. I think that's good. Let him go and get some experience. You need to get someone in that's more than just a simple passer like he is.
I certainly think from an academy point of view, we can't just have academy players that are just going to be holding bench, not doing anything. Yeah, it's really annoying for me that United we do have talented players. If they're not going to get game time, we need to. I don't know why we can't organize loan moves to sister clubs or whatever team. I just don't get it. How come City, Chelsea, and I guess it's this whole multi-club networky thing that certain clubs have, where they have multi-club ownership, and this goes up behind the scenes. But United are really disadvantaged in not being able to loan their youth academy products to teams that can help. Because I think that loan at Sunderland really helped Ahmad in the Championship. It really helped him. It stepped up his game. That because the Championship is difficult, So
people have done this before the multi-club thing. I think that helps. But if you're still a big team, other teams that are lower should want your young talent if you're training them properly. I think people know that Man United, people know that Man United's coaching is sketchy. So maybe that's surely got to be a factor of why people are not getting out properly.
Even someone like Chido, I don't know what went in the game time because we still got Xerxes. Hoyland is still technically at the club. He's not going yet, although I imagine he might be moved out. So when is Chido going to get game time? Chido also needs to learn. I actually think Chido technically was actually better than Hoyland last season. In terms of if we were going to start a striker, I would have started Chido. In the final against Spurs and not Hoyland.
I remember the game against Fulham. I think we lost that obviously, but he just had more chances in a few minutes than Hoyland had in the rest of the game.
Exactly. When it's like it was absent, it was like, how does this sort of So for me, is there. So, but he needs a loan. Coyle needs a loan. I wouldn't loan out Heaven. I think Heaven could start, to be honest. Heaven has shown enough to me that he should be competing for first choice centre back alongside Euro, Martinez and Maguire and De Ligt. To be honest, he is Heaven is good. That was probably one of the only positives of last season was basically just seeing Euro and Heaven these guys could be good centre backs for Manchester United for the future. The centre back situation at Manchester United is fine. There's, and no matter what anyone says, we didn't really, weirdly, even though we were 15th place last season, we didn't actually concede that many goals in games. I know Onana made mistakes, etc., but I can't remember a time when we were spanked. The biggest issue last season was we couldn't score goals. We just couldn't put the balls into the back of the net, So, we won the Snapdragon Cup. Stop, Niche. Stop.
What's Lucky saying real quick? Saying Rasmus Hoyland won't fully agree 6 million.
Simon, I'll check on if there's been any additional news. Arden, that's Red Devil Multiverse. That's my secondary channel. Look, subscribe to that, by the way. Arden, my aim is scoring 2 goals a go. So basically, we should be scoring 2 goals a game in top 8, top 7. Okay, fine. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to Eddy's channel, please. Thanks so much for putting that in the channel as well. Please.
And get those Prem Proven Tunes. I'm doing animation, so please subscribe to that. If you like cartoons based on football.
And the links in the description as well, guys. So make sure you check those out.
Thank you.
Big up Rob as well. You're doing well as well. Lucky's prediction: Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, Manchester United, Brighton, Spurs. I actually think Spurs are going to finish higher. than the ninth. So although again, it'd be interesting again to see how a lot of this season, to be honest, is going to be, for me, is going to be about which squad can manage their injuries. Because it's all well and good saying, "Oh right, this is the best, and they can compete." And which team has the deepest squad that can manage their injuries? Because literally, even the beginning of the season, Spurs have got then Madison is injured out for goodness knows how many months, etc. So,
you know what? Another thing as well is what kind of managers can get the best out of the second string as well. Because obviously there's going to be injuries.
Yeah,
but who's good at these tactics to transcend the situation, right? I think with Thomas Frank at Spurs, I can see them finishing in front of Man United. Dare I say it? But I know he lost that final just now, but we've seen what he can do.
They shouldn't have lost that final, by the way. Yeah, I think Thomas Frank learned the history of Spurs in that final, so he'll hopefully adapt quickly and not allow that to be bottled again.
That's the key word, adapt. Like we were saying at the start of the season, at the start of the stream, right? Amorim's got to have the adaptability to negotiate the league now. Or people like Thomas Frank will just outcoach him, and other people will outcoach him. Like Glasner will outcoach him. He's got to improve.
He's got to adapt. We'll just get into what we think is the best song in a second. I'm just gonna finish reading your comments. Big up, Santos Flower says Wharton or Nana, Villa good options too. Yeah, like I said, they are. Hopefully for 50 or 60 million, I'd be pushing for one of them. If we get a top midfielder and a new number one keeper, we could push for fifth, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I just don't think we're getting both. We might get a midfielder. I mean, we might go elsewhere. But a goalkeeper, it looks like we're not getting a new goalkeeper. Definitely looks like we're not getting a new goalkeeper. Midfielder, who knows?
I mean, is there a possibility for Bayern there to just start? Because he's a Turkish number one as well. It's like he's not a bum. He's done mistakes.
No,
maybe he could have a good season.
No, well, we'll see. I mean, to be honest, I'd put Heaton in goal. I think Heaton's still all right, to be honest.
So people coaching by now. He's still playing.
Yeah, he was. He played in one of the pre-seasons, and I was like, this guy is still okay. Like I generally would be like, if Heaton's there, like, why don't we try him at least for some sort of like, at least he's a bit more of a commanding presence, got some experience, you know. So like,
Evans is still in the squad.
No, Evans is squad. Evans is squad.
Yeah, good. Just stop this old man business going on, man.
Rasmus says we used to have that kind of relationship with Roy Antwerp in Belgium. Don't know what happened. Of course, it'd be ideal to have that in England, but still Belgium better. Exactly. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what's happened, but we certainly need to be in a situation where we can send youth players off to loans, because for me fundamentally that's why Chelsea, City, etc. All these guys I think can sell their, aside from their first team is successful, that is why they're able to sell a lot of these players for 50, 30, 40, 50 sort of £1 million and pock that back up in PSR. No problem. We struggle. I also think the other reason as well is that, and that isn't mentioned, is that there's actually also a lot of negativity around United. So United gets a lot of media attention, etc. And so there's a lot of attention. So a lot of clubs know we're desperate. A lot of clubs know we're bad at negotiating. A lot of clubs know the players some of them can have bad attitudes. And so therefore, that's all piles together to think, right, okay, well, we're going to lowball Manchester United, whereas Liverpool, Chelsea, they don't necessarily have that as much attention. And so they can, get away with, doing what they're doing.
And also, if you see Man United playing some of the worst football known to man, you're not going to think, oh, yeah, they're going to have some good players in the academy. You know what I mean? Shit rolls downhill, So if the first team's playing bad, people are thinking, oh, maybe the academy sucks as well.
No, exactly. Right, okay, let's quickly go, as we're obviously, so we begin to round up. So we're quickly going to, in fact, let me just quickly look at the positions, final poll, actually. So let me just have a quick. Okay, so top four still 28%, 5th to 8th 50%. So half of you guys. Then 9th to 12th is 17%, and 13th to 16th is 6. So most of you think that we'll finish 5th to 8th, with this second bit being top 4, and then 9 to 12, which I think in fairness is kind of fair. Let's quickly move. So let's quickly go into what we think is United's best starting 11. So I've got my projection here. Obviously, guys in the chat, get involved. Let me know what you think. This is the formation of 3-4-2-1. Ruben Amorims obviously being our coach for now. Our captain will be Bruno when I select him. So what is assuming all players are fit? We can't speculate about people who are maybe signed or are not going to be signed. What starting with the goalkeeper? What is Manchester United's best 11?
So yeah, you can count people like De Ligt, because I think he's injured, isn't he?
I'm gonna just put Onana here as a thing because that's just where we are with the goalkeeping situation.
Is De Ligt injured, right?
Even if he's injured, it's fine. This is just based on what we've got right now available. Like what is United's best 11? So
midfield is just it's a conundrum, that midfield.
I actually think the defense is the hard, because like with the defense, we've got 3 positions, and you basically got Matswari, who people have forgotten because he's there. Matswari, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, De Ligt, Lenny Yoro, and Aiden Heaven. So 6 players for 3 positions, which I think is fair. I guess you've got a substitute.
Yeah, it's good competition there.
Good competition. So in terms of the best, like if it was me, I would say you have this is a trick one.
This was easy for me. I was doing this before the stream. I was like, yeah, midfield, defense. I know he's starting for me.
Who do you think is starting the defense? This is the best defense.
Yeah, I can't see Euro not being started in there, because we've seen the youthful exuberance, right? The way he's overlapping into the midfield sometimes. He's playmaking. I saw him doing some of these long lofted balls over the top for for attackers. So you're a right centre back, right? If De Ligt was fit, I'm going with him because he seems to be slightly more agile than Maguire. So he's needed if you're pressing. He's needed. Like Maguire on the press, it's going to get caught out. So yeah, Euro, De Ligt. And then on the left, I was a little bit struggling because Heaven's good, but I don't know if he's quite ready yet. Like not enough experience. So if Shaw is not just all talk, we're talking about stragglers.
I can't have Shaw here. I can't have Shaw after what happened. Like if we're talking about the best available, I'd rather start, because from what I've seen from Heaven, like before he was injured, even after his injuries come back, like he's good. Like he's I would trust him more than Shaw. I'd rather put Maguire there right now. I'll be honest. Like I think Maguire, I know it's bad, but I think Maguire had a much better season than Shaw did. Like
if he can stay fit though, RDS, like we've seen him be good at defense. Like even when it was just 4-4-2, right? It was locking up people like Haaland a few seasons.
He was, but he came back in quotes supposedly fit, and he almost cost us the game against in the Europa League against what's it called again? Was it Lyon or something like was? Cost us a few times in the league when he played, and in the Europa League final, it was his miscommunication with Onana that scored the goal. Like, so I'm kind of like, if you've not recovered from the injury and you're not good, so then exactly, this is a good idea. Matswari, I put Matswari there.
What, left centre back is it? or just somewhere in the back three?
It could be
I'm not sure about Mazraoui though.
left centre back. He'd have to be right centre back. So then could you put Euro at left?
This is what I mean. Luke Shaw left-footed. Yeah, on form, Luke Shaw though.
You're
I don't
right.
think you can argue with on form, Luke Shaw.
I think Shaw will probably start on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to put Shaw here, even though I don't really want to be honest. I really, really don't want Shaw here.
I
mean,
don't either, but when we've seen him play good, he's good in defensively.
I've not seen Luke Shaw play good for more than a year though. That's the problem.
That's the thing. That's the the practicality of it is not really realistic like that. But yeah,
but you're right. I can't.
Heaven then, isn't it?
Actually, I'm going to put Heaven.
If we're talking about Arsenal,
I'm going to override this. I'm putting Heaven here. I'm sorry. I can't have Shaw here. I'm sorry. I can't have Shaw. I agree with you, Rob. He's probably going to start, but but.
So are you calling Shaw a straggler? Right.
Yeah. I think he's been at the club too much, and yeah, that's fine.
I thought there was no more stragglers though. That's what Shaw was talking about.
No, just I know. I think Shaw like it's no after that last one. I was like, especially because it was kind of like for me last season was short. It was the last straw because you didn't play. You barely played the previous season, then got fit for the Euros, then came back, then got injured, then came back again, and then got injured again, then came back at the end of the season when it was crucial period, and you actually almost cost us, and then cost us. Like, I'd rather take a chance on Heaven, who can potentially improve, than just try and continue to squeeze the oil out of Shaw and see if he's gonna sort. The guy's he's been at the club. He is one of the oldest in this team. He's one of the oldest players, if not the oldest player.
He was the longest of everyone.
He was here under exactly. He was here. I even get why even United fans give him so many chances. He was here under Van Gaal, sorry. Before Maguire,
was it Fergie's last season, right?
Surely. Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh no! It was. I remember it was Van Gaal. Van Gaal. Like he wasn't here for Moyes.
Was not here for Moyes.
No. He was here for Van Gaal's last season. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the main point is he's been here too long.
He's been here too long. But for some reason he's got plaudits in United, in the fan base. Everyone just seems to be like, yeah, but if Luke Shaw can really, really be good, it's like, can we stop with this whole? If this player comes really, really good, it's like when the player's been at the club for 7 or 8 or 9 years and has been injury prone. Like let's City don't do that. Chelsea don't do that. They move players on because they're like, just like they're doing with John Stones can be really, really good, but City are thinking about moving him on. Why? Because he's injury prone.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Get the standards back up because 15th place will have that kind of damage on your brain in terms of organizing your team. So you need to get rid of players like that. But they got to sort out the contracts. That's the thing, isn't it?
Exactly. Right. I think the wing backs are obvious. I think Dorgu is on the left. That's just that will be as a given. And then I still think we have to get Ahmad in here. I think he will play Dallo, but for me, you have to get
Really? So what?
I think you'll play Dallo on Sunday.
Nah.
I think you have to get Ahmad in here.
You know what? Yeah, that will set the tone. If Amorim does that pragmatic or whatever you call it, that's just negative to play a defense at home as well. I would understand away, but at home, you're not going to play Diallo, who's like pretty much was saving Amorim last season. That's crazy. Okay, you put him in. I can never see Diallo getting in there for a home.
Portuguese tax man.
The nepotism.
I think against Arsenal, I wouldn't be surprised against Arsenal that he, especially because they don't want to lose the first game and be because Arsenal will be a good team. He plays Dallo. I would not be surprised, like at all. I wouldn't be. But this is the best starting 11 for me.
Yeah.
So this is what now the midfield is where it gets interesting. And that's where I need you, Eddie. I need the chat, because I've got no idea what the best midfield combination is. And this is not what I think. Remember, this is not a starting 11 that I think that Amrim will pick. It's why I think the best Manchester United 11 is. And I'll be honest, Bruno's not here. He is going to play, but if I'm honest, like, this is what I think is the best Manchester United starting 11. I don't know how you can fit Bruno in here.
I think I know you putting in there. Go on. You putting in there?
You have to play. You have to play Maino and Ugarte.
Oh, okay. I was right about Ugarte. I thought you were gonna say Mount.
No. Mount doesn't have the. I don't think Mount has the. I mean, he could, but I don't think he has the distance. I think you have to start. It's got to be Maino and Ugarte. Ugarte in the 6, and then Maino acts as the 8. I think Maino has more of that discipline, or to play that role, So that, I mean, yeah, Maino couldn't potentially become a 10 as well, but I feel like he has the legs, and I think he's more disciplined in playing that role, that 8 role, than Bruno does.
You say Maino, yeah?
Yeah, Maino. I'm not saying he's a perfect fit for it, but it's just that if I had to pick between Bruno and Maino in the 8, not the 10, but in the 8, I win the 10. I give it to Bruno, whatever. But in the 8, I think it's Maino.
But one second, what about Mount here? Yeah, because he can play 8, can't he? I think
he can. Yeah. He can.
And he's got discipline. He's got, like I said before, right? He can do that link-up play. I'm sure managers like him because he likes to he keeps it simple. That's a big thing about his game. He's got fitness and will keep the game simple. So for me, he's not going to play over Bruno though. That's the thing. I can never see it.
He won't. But I was saying this is not. I know for a fact that like the midfield I'm going to put in here is not the midfield that Ruben Amorims going to play. It's not. But
okay, I would say Mount is better than Maino in there because he's got. For me, I've seen him have more legs. He's quicker from what I see. Right, okay. Maino's got more technique, but the game can pass him by. Unfortunately, it can pass him by. So I
would argue that's the same with Mount though. Like in the games I've seen him play, like a lot of the time, I'm like, was Mount even on the field? Was Mount and maybe I'm not reading the game well. I can put my hands up to that. But there's a lot of times last season when Mount was back. The other thing as well, Mount
is 10, right? That's when he's played 10. But if he's playing deeper, I reckon he's better if he's playing deeper, so he can link up with that defense a bit more.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not adverse to that. Like I said, I take into cons. I definitely think you can't play Bruno there. I think.
Do you remember what people were saying a lot, like about Mount? He's saying he's good on the half turn, in the half spaces. That's exactly what you do in this kind of holding midfield when you're playing out from the back. You need to be good on the pivot, don't you? So, I think Mount would work in there. Like.
Okay.
Obviously, he won't be the best, but better than Bruno. More disciplined, I think.
That's good.
I'd want Maino to play in there, but he's just not had a good season last season. It was unfortunate, man.
I mean, he barely played, to be honest. So like, and that was when he was fit. Mount. The biggest issue for me with Mount is his fitness. Like, I don't think if he keeps. I actually don't disagree with you if Mount keeps himself and keeps fit and is not injured, but he's not giving me like I need at least a midfield where you're going to play at least 20 out of the ideally 20, because there's 38 games. So ideally 20 to 25 games at least for the season. And if you're playing less than that, like, then there's a problem, So but yeah, okay, fine. I'll put Mount and Agate here. So I'll put Agate here.
I mean, people like Rasmus in the comments are saying Mainu as well, actually. So I just think Mainu needs the extra two midfielders in there to work. In the midfield too, just not enough legs.
I do agree that, like, when we've seen Mainu and Agate together, it's not really worked that well. So, and I'm not sure whether if you brought in someone like a BALEBA, ironically enough, who is a good DM and also ball carrier, whether that would sort of help. He Mainu in that midfield does need his hand held sometimes, but at the same time, like, I don't know
what his team is like. He's not, his attitude is not as bad, but like a bit like a Pogba, right? Where, like you're saying, he needs someone to hold his hand or do the extra little bit of leg work, and then you give it to Mainu, he'll do some of your playmaking for you. But if you're gonna play that two in midfield, he's just gonna suffer. Yeah. You have to have that extra midfielder in there for him.
Yeah. Right, let me quickly read some comments before we go to our front three. That should be fairly obvious compared to the midfield. Let me have a look. Let's go. Let me go back up. Rasmus, I hope Amorim gets it right this season. He shouldn't be here. Bournemouth sold so many of their players, yet they look very good against Liverpool tonight. Unlucky not to get at least a draw. What was the final score?
They were drawing 2-2 at one point. I was getting excited. I think it might be 4-2 in the end. I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's 4-2.
4-2, man. Did they?
Yeah, 4-2.
4-2. What happened? Yeah. So I switched over 2-0. And then what? Oh, right. So, yeah, it was this Semenyo, Antoine Semenyo. It was 2-2. And then 88th minute. Chiesa. I thought that bum had gone exiled or something. Is he still playing?
No way. Oh,
so wow. Chiesa scored the. I thought they said they Chiesa had to go and find a new club or something. Like, I didn't even know is still playing for Liverpool. And then Salah getting I'm not interested in Salah getting a 94th minute goal away for the game.
If the real Chiesa that we knew from like them tournaments, them international tournaments is back then. We're in trouble. The league's in trouble.
Yeah, if that's in, but I suspect it was a fluky one-off, but I didn't watch big games.
So. Maybe a little tapping or something.
Shows the importance of the manager. Rob, I think that the my management. I think the manager will play a false nine to start the game. Sesko comes off the bench to score the winner. Man Utd, possibly, yeah, against Arsenal. Yep, I don't disagree.
But who would be the false nine though?
Probably Mbeumo, maybe.
Mbeumo, right? And then playing Cunha and
then maybe Bruno. And then you play Mount in the midfield. That's how you do it. So yeah, Mbeumo post line, Kune, Bruno, Mount in the midfield, with maybe Casemiro. Mount and then Casemiro or Agate, and then everyone else is planned. Although I suspect he'll start Maguire. Sure.
Would Amorim dare to play to play Mainu false nine again?
I don't. Yeah, I would be surprised, especially when we've even forgotten about Xerxes, who I still think is a talented player. Like I'd rather you play Xerxes at 9. In quote false 9, then why would you play Mainu and false 9 when you can play Xerxes there?
That, you know what? That's exactly what I was saying when you tried it the first time. Yeah.
Especially now that, like, I actually am interested to see how Xerxes, like, for me, I actually think Xerxes and Sesko should be the competition, because I'm actually interested to see how Xerxes will play, having like Mbeumo and Kune as 2 number 9s behind him, and actually sort of doing the 1-2s, licking up, etc., that he did like last season. Like, I'm not sure how, maybe Rasmus might improve, but I certainly would like to see, how Xerxes works, because I think there's a player there in Xerxes. So, but we've got to see.
Definitely, it's just about the mentality. Like, I hope he's got past the crying stage, because we saw too many of that. I mean, I know he's a human, but if you're at the top level, sorry, can't be crying.
No. So, although I mean, even crying Xerxes, I'm sure is better than Rasmus, man. I'll take Ryan Xerxes over, like, sorry, Rasmus, but like, you either need a really a good loan spell, or I know you want to fight for your position, and maybe you won't, it's fine, but like 4 goals, if you're not Manchester number 9 and you're scoring 4 goals in the whole Premier League season, just in the league, that's just not good enough. Like,
have you seen what Tactical Devils is saying in the comments? Xerxes reinvention as number 8.
Let me have a look.
Very interesting.
Maz back. I think Shaw probably yes on Sunday. I almost forgot. Dorgo should be guaranteed starter. Yeah. Dorgo is definitely. He's again another player that I'm looking forward to. Bob says my back 3 would be Lenny, Maguire, De Ligt, Heaton in goals. Job. I mean, if he does, I'm not going to complain if Heaton starts in goal. I don't think anyone is going to complain. I would be like, oh yeah, that's
about De Ligt and Maguire in the back there, not enough speed.
Exactly. That's why I wouldn't play both of them together.
Yeah.
I agree with Eddy. Well, City had Aguero for years, to be fair, and he was injured. I mean, to Rasmus, after what Aguero did with the Aguero thing, it doesn't matter how injury prone he was. Luke Shaw's never had that moment in a Manchester United shirt. Like, he's not.
Sorry, that comparison is blasphemous, right?
Yeah,
that's what you should have said. Come on, Aguero. He's a Premier League legend.
Also, I still remember Aguero's hat trick, just dunking. There was one scene where he was just dunking hat tricks on everybody. Chelsea, Arsenal, he was doing it. It's just like, yeah. I like Bruno, but he can never play in the midfield 2 for me. He can play at an 8 with 2 DMs behind him, true, but he takes too many risks, and one of those loose balls will concede. Exactly. So it doesn't work for me, and Amon will die on when we'll come to that in a second, actually, because I know I won't be running out of time. Ruben said we go to war. We got all the midfield. Wait, Ruben Amon said we've got all the midfielders we need. Mount can play in the midfield. He's up. If he said that, then if he gets sacked, I'm not. It is what it is.
I don't think.
I'll be honest.
No, like I said, man, come on. He keeps it simple. That's what they need in midfield. He'd link up. I don't think. Why is that insane though? Like,
I would play Mount in the midfield, but where's Fred when you need him the most? I miss Fred. I'll just leave it there. I miss Fred.
Can't be looking back in the past, man. You gotta get over the X's. You move on.
And Bremer will be false. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Bremer will probably be the big up to Tactical Devils. Man, hope you're doing well. Evening, guys. I'm assuming you have a YouTube channel. So if you do, let's collab, or people head over and support him.
You were saying,
Xerxes should reinvent himself as a number 8.
He's saying it could be like a Joe Linton.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But in this system, I don't know. Like,
even though he's big, I think the problem for me is that is he robust enough? Because Joe Linton is a tank. I don't think he's actually a good link up, but is he strong in there? I don't know if he's strong.
But this is the thing, like, these are types of things where, like, these are great ideas, but we should have tried these in preseason. That's what the preseason is for. Like, I like, all this stuff is great, it's nice, but it's like, why don't we try these things in I don't like when managers I know sometimes you don't have a choice if you've got injuries, and then you're like, right, can you do a job, etc. That's different. You know, it is what it is. But when you've had a preseason, when you had most of your players available and you've had the opportunity to experiment, that's the whole point of a preseason. You don't start experimenting a couple of games into the season, think, well, let's try, Xerxes, like, come on, why? Nietzsche's, I want Dallo to play in the 9. Why not at this point? Square pegs in.
That's not square pegs and round holes. That's like octagon pegs.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Maguire was basically our striker last season. If you want to keep a stat, for the last 15, 20 minutes of games, Maguire was basically our striker. It wasn't can Xerxes or Can Hoyland get us a last minute goal. It was get Maguire up there and maybe he might give us a striker's finish. That is basically what happened. So I'm not surprised.
You know what I hope? Just real quickly, yeah. I hope the striker Sesko has that kind of initiative where he's pointing where he wants the ball. Because remember, do you remember Maguire was doing that?
Yeah.
When he played up front a little bit.
Yeah.
Why is the defender knowing how to do more of the fundamentals than Hoyland and Zerk? Yeah,
I know. It was a little bit strange. Maguire and McTominay were basically our best forward players over the last 2 seasons. You know,
that's crazy.
That's crazy to say. Like that just shows you why I have negative goal difference. Like if we had peak RVP, Rooney, and stuff like that, and you have defenders scoring, that's a different matter. But the fact that, like, you know, none of the attacking players in the last 2 seasons can turn to ties is incredible. And yet, sounds like he could be our Joe Linton. Shivam says we are finishing third this season. My bets are in. Interesting. I mean, that'll put us ahead of a lot of strong teams. I'd be curious to see who you think is finishing below us.
Now, I don't know about Shivam though, because like he put, I don't know if it's he or she. We should try 3-6-1 formation. No CM needed. All attackers. I don't know if this is trolling though. That sounds like trolling.
That's old school Manchester United way. You know what I mean? Just sort of level up and up for the best. You know. So, sorry, 1 second. Rasmus Hoying got his Figati wrong. Frank J. A lot of new people in the chat. So if you're new to the channel, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Street, bottom right hand corner. Frank J. I can't believe that after having released Ericsson and Collier, we are not going to sign anyone to replace them. I mean, what you think? Collier is not released. He's still at the club. He's going to be on loan. But you're all right. You know, we've got Ericsson wages. What's going on?
I bet Amorims wanted someone, and surely he knows he's short in there. But it's the board, isn't it? The board made the final decision.
Nisha, yeah, go and watch Jam Press. I need to go back and watch this thing because it's and more I'm hitting and more I'm getting annoyed. My best starting 11: Onana, Euro, Shaw, Delit, Dorgu, Ahmad, Bruno, Agate, and Buemo, Kune, and Seska. I just don't think Bruno and Agate can be together, man. I think that Bruno will wander off, and then Agate is going to be swamped. And Agate's, Agate is a good recoverer of the ball, so he's going to win it back, so his passing is all right, but I just think his ball control is not that great. And when he gets swamped, he gets swamped.
If Agate could change into Kante overnight, then
that'd be great.
You literally need 2 players in one to be in that position. That's your Kante profile. That's what you need.
Yeah. I just I don't know. It's just a shame. I just unfortunately don't see it. We should try a 3-6-1. We should try 3-6-1. Well, Rasmus, Maresca, come on, pay up already. Yeah, pay up regarding Sancho, man. Come on. We should try 3-6-1 formation. It needs all attackers only. And will be spanked.
I told you about Shazam. I don't know about these formations here.
Oh, Fabrizio said on X, Marescas on the left side, we have Jamie and Tyreek George. So probably also there, we need something. That player will be. Oh, wait, no, those are the quotes. That player. So he's saying that player. So yeah. So he's I mean, Garnacho's gone. Like, Garnacho is definitely gone. There's no debate about whether Garnacho is going to stay at the club or not. He's gone. It's just, I think there's no reason why Manchester United is selling Garnacho should be selling for less than what I'm hearing, which is 40 mil. Which is
pretty decent for a disgruntled player. The 40 mil. Wow. Okay.
40 million, but remember Garnacho's only 2021. If he does well at Chelsea, he'll be worth double that in 2 or 3 years. So if we sell him for 40 mil, fine. We better put in a we don't need a buyback clause. We better put a sell-on clause. 40 mil and a sell-on clause. Okay, fine, go. But they want 30 mil, and I don't know about the sell-on clause, but yeah, 40 mil on a sell-on clause because I know that we'll be able to reap some like we've already done with Alanga and Alvaro. We already got the money from that.
I don't even think it's that good. I would say 30 mil is still good. But obviously, you want to get the most in it, pure profit.
Yeah. And also because they're worse players that Garnacho isn't that great, but he's better than Nicholas Jackson. And Nicholas Jackson, I'm going for 80 million. You know, he's better than Darwin Núñez, and Darwin Núñez went for 70. Like, right, okay.
This is the thing, RDS. This is why I don't really get what they're doing, because like they're upgrading to people like João Pedro. So I'm like, why are you still getting people like Garnacho? Because there's people like NATO there, which I'm still confused as to why they got that kind of player.
Yeah.
They're what, like higher IQ, and they're literally just wingers that get the head down and run. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
the
strange.
world champions want that kind of profile. Go ahead.
It's strange.
I thought they're smarter than that.
By when do you think Amron's record will start again? Storm is coming. We have to suffer. I hope not. Big up Tactical Devils. My take on Zirk is that he needs. Well, I'll read your last comments, then we'll quickly round up with Premier League predictions, and then just whether Amron's going to be sacked. Because I know it's getting late. My take on Zirk is that he needs to carve out a role when he can earn a place in the starting 11. I think he could push for the number 8 spot, but will have to put in work. Yep. I just don't see him getting a look in as one of the starters in the number 10. No, I think if anything, I think especially if Højlund's going, I think that Xerxes will probably play second fiddle to Sesko. Because you've got to be real. Because if Højlund does go, and let's just assume that Sesko flops, let's just, because there's not guarantee that Sesko's going to be good. So let's say Sesko does flop and Xerxes does come on and bangs goals. Hypothetically, you know, so because again, Xerxes didn't have Kune and Mbeumo behind him, and if he does come, he's obviously had one more year in the Premier League than Sesko has. If he comes on, you know, and he's doing it, he's coming on, and of course that's going to happen. You'll get a reversal where Xerxes will play more games and Sesko will take time to adapt. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he'll be in the number 10s, although of course AFCON is on, so Bren will probably be gone, etc. But I can definitely see if Højlund goes, him being a substitute for Sesko.
You know, real quick, yeah. I just remember this is Jarvis Cocker with Tactical Devils. He's really good with the tactical stuff. That's why I was saying his suggestion of the reinvention of Xerxes as a number 8 is very very interesting. Yeah. Coming back to what you were saying, though, bro, we will see if Amorim is adaptable. Yeah, because obviously with the false 9 thing, it will be good to have false 9 for some games where you can saturate the midfield, and then sometimes just having Sesko as the target man. Has Amorim got the adaptability to combine that dynamic?
Oh, FYI, I've subscribed to your channel, Tactical Devils, just so you know. So everyone should subscribe to Tactical Devils channel as well. Mount, Bruno, Ahmad, and Mbeumo and Kune are in front of him. That is true. Right. So let me quickly finish this. So I'm assuming this should be obvious here. Just finishing off the starting 11 here. Kune there, and then Mbeumo here, and then Sesko here. It's not complete. And there we go. And in fairness, that's not a bad team. When I'm looking at it fully, I'm like, is that a bad team? Aside from Onana, who could always be a weakness, it's not a bad team. That should be a team that should get top 7, surely.
This is the thing. When you look on paper, you could, you make the case. It's just like, obviously, we wish these guys up front were having some chemistry already.
Yeah.
Like I said before, that it's a toss up as to what we're gonna need to see some dribbling. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Individual brilliance. That's what's gonna really get them through this period.
Yeah. I'm hoping, you know, so that like Dorgu, for example, has a breakout season. I think, you know, from what I saw in pre-season, he's looking good, looking sharp. You know, he could potentially be like someone like a Nuno Mendes type sort of player, like in the future, because he is looking good. So the likes of Euro, Heaven, you know, Dorgu, Ahmad continuously, and obviously the front three. If basically, like, even if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our players actually have a good good game, a good season, then I think we'll be top 5, top 7, no problem. Like the issue last season was that like you could probably there was only a handful of players that you could say could be given a score of the season of more than 4.
Yeah, I think you're being kind with that rating, but I can only see Man United doing the counter attack with what's on the screen. If Amorim's good enough to do that properly, then I reckon we're going to see a lot of what we saw in that pre-season, where it's like centre backs doing that lofted ball over the top. Like I think it's going to be that, just because obviously the midfield's weak, like we keep saying. So you just what can you do but bypass it a lot of the time?
Right. Let's quickly move to the so Chris, just quickly we'll on Premier League predictions, and then do you think, in fact I'll put the poll up, just another quick poll. Where are we? Where is it? Sorry, I need to get back to you. So I'm going to put a quick poll as to who you guys actually think is actually going to win the Premier League. I don't want Liverpool to win, obviously, for obvious reasons. I don't want 21, but it is what it is. But that's where we are. But I'll just quickly share. So let me quickly share the screen first. Sorry, guys. So I'll share this tab so hopefully everyone can see that. Obviously, it's the Premier League table. Premier League preview. And then, yeah, I'll just check the poll up. So for me, it's just the options. I'm going to give the options simple because let's be sensible here. I'm not putting United as a potential. If we win the league, it will be a miracle. So I'm going to put
United need to do a title race first, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
so
I'm going to 12 years.
So I'm going to put the obvious top 4 mentions, which is Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City in the chat. And there is so let me know. Let's just obviously make this quick, as you can see in the league. Who do you think is going to, and same for the chat, who do you think is going to get top 4? Who do you think is going to get the European spots? That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. And who do you think is going to get relegated? And then lastly, who do you think is going to be the surprise team of the season? Because last season, I'd make a case that it was Forest. I think Forest were the surprise team in terms of, people didn't expect them to do what they did, even though they missed out on the Champions League spots. It was still surprising. So yeah, top 4 predictions, Eddie.
I've got a top. I've actually got a top 7.
Oh, top 7. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, that combines all. Yeah, let's do top 7 because that combines all the European things. Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think it's going to be close as well. Like last season, where it's like it went down to the last day for some of this European qualification too. Hopefully, we get that this season too. I enjoyed that, but obviously, we want the league to be close. I think Liverpool. I think they're on some momentum now. I think they're finished. I think they're winning it again. Unfortunately, they actually like the ambition of winning and actually buying more players to keep winning. Right? They're not getting complacent, which is what the division needed them to be complacent and not get the likes of I can't even say his name. Ekitike. Yeah, it's a hard one. So and then Wirtz is not. He looks like an what do you call him? Isco. Isco when he was when he was one of those prime number 10s. He kind of looks like that. I reckon Wirtz is going to be amazing as well. So yeah, Liverpool first, and then City. I think it will be like close with the players that they've got in. I hope they finish lower because I don't like Pep's football anymore. It's so boring. We saw that side-to-side crap last season, but I think they may improve a little bit. So Liverpool, City, Chelsea. I reckon they'll be in the title race too. I reckon they'll come 3rd. So I reckon we have a 3-horse race, basically. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Arsenal are not going to do... they're not going to win the league. They're not. I don't see them doing 4 times in a row where they're finishing second. I can't... come on. That's it.
They've signed Jokeres now. The biggest issue with Arsenal has been they've not had that attacking. If Jokeres comes on and he cooks...
But that's the big thing, though, right?
And obviously, on top of that, they signed Zubimendi as well, who's obviously good.
He's good.
He's very good.
Yeah, but they're changing from the false 9 to the striker. There's surely going to be a teething period where they're changing. You know, if you're just changing your system, I don't think that's going to plug into just win the title. I don't think so. So yeah, I think there's going to be a drop off. So far, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. I think Villa actually will be fresh. Have they got Europe? No, what have they got? Like Europa League, is it?
Villa of Europa League, yeah. Villa of Europa League.
I just have a feeling they'll be focusing more on trying to get to Champions League, and then they maybe if they finish in top 5. Yeah, I reckon they'll be focusing more on the league to get towards Champions League. So I got Villa 5th. Spurs, I reckon, will finish 6th. I just see Thomas Frank doing the adaptability that we mentioned before. I think they're going to have a good season. They've got good players as well. And then in 7th, I've got Newcastle. I know they got Champions League, but I just like the way they play, and I think they're going to be like using that confidence of winning that Carabao Cup. Even if people don't think that's a big cup, I think still that will help them bypass the tiredness and all of that kind of stuff. Because when you've won stuff, you know what I mean, that gives you confidence on your subconscious. So yeah, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa, Spurs, Newcastle, top 7. And I reckon, Man United might get the 8th. So yeah, that's their top 8.
Fair. Right, I'll try and be a bit more. I will try and be a bit more optimistic for you guys. And obviously, I'll come into comments. Let us know what your predictions are in the chat as well, guys. We are going to be doing a back to watch along, so we are going to be doing a United Arsenal watch along on Sunday, as well as a match reaction. So I'm going to try. The format from this is I am going to the match reactions are going to be like live shows, open hangout sort of stuff. So every match reaction, I will post a link in the description. So if you want to come on and get your thoughts, you don't have to be on camera. It's up to you. You can join me, you cannot, and we can have it. It's like an open discussion and debrief on the game. So that is going to be how the match reactions are going to be like when I do them. Sometimes, because I'm busy with work and other things, I might not, and I'll just post a short. But anyway, as far as the predictions go, so I also think Liverpool. It's a tricky one because, like, I don't think it would. I think Liverpool are going to be strengthened. I think they're getting Gahey and the other players, so I think they are strengthening the defense because I do think Liverpool's defense is quite weak still. So I think that is a problem that can be exploited. But if they attack, if a TK, Salah, that they'll pop off, I think they'll still be able to do it like they did at Anfield. They're always strong at Anfield. Yeah. So I agree with you. But you know what? I'm gonna actually say Arsenal. I'm gonna say Arsenal. And I'm gonna say Arsenal because
wait, I sense the jinx happening.
Yeah, I know it's a jinx, but it's because I think that I like you. I just think they can't be second all the time. And this is the first time this season where I'm thinking, right, they've actually strengthened in the positions that they needed to strengthen in. They've got one of the best, when they're fit, they've got one of the best centre-back pairings in the league, arguably in Europe. They barely conceded any goals, unlike, I say, Liverpool. So I think the goalkeeping situation is sorted better now. And now you're adding in Jokeres, who I know he's gone to Arsenal. I know United fans want him, but he was deemed one of the best strikers in Europe last season. even if it takes him time to adapt, like people forget he's played in the Premier League before. I bet it was for Brighton, and he played also for Coventry as well. So it's not like he doesn't know what Premier League football, English football is about. He played in Coventry, played in Brighton, I think another sort of team. So he's played in England for years, you know. So obviously it's different for a top 4-6 club, but he's not completely foreign like how Anthony was coming from the Eredivisie to United, for example. You then add in, like I said, Zubimendi into the fold as well. Who else have they signed? Is it just those two signings?
Norgard, Mosquera, centre back.
And if they get another winger, because I know they're interested in Eze, but maybe he's not sort of coming, then I don't know. Like obviously if Saka pops up, etc. I don't know. I think this could be a team that is here for a long haul. I'm not saying they're going to like run away with it and like. You know,
sorry, we forgot Madueke. You're saying this guy's going to go and win the title?
Okay, well, I think they're in a better position than Chelsea are, for example. I think that the whole, I think like with Chelsea are a good team, but I still have question marks over their depth and over their sort of sustainability. They ended the season quite well, and obviously they had a good, cup winners won. I think that's good. But I still think their defense have issues. I still have not really seen them of how they've been able to deal with like low block teams like really well. Because in the Club World Cup, they're all, they're all playing expansive. They're all coming out. They're doing their thing. They're different sort of skill levels. That's a different story when you're playing against teams that are physical in the Premier League that can bully your attackers and also are gonna like basically sort of park up shop for a long time. You have to unlock them. Is the lap that dude to unlock the if João Pedro's in fine? I don't know. So
João Pedro may be the guy.
Like I said, João Pedro might be the guy. I just want to see him. I'm just gonna wait and see. I don't want to judge them just based on the Club World Cup, which it is fine. I still view it as like a friendly tournament. Then like it kind of like, okay, this is. But you're right. He could do something.
That was pressure because there was a lot of money on the line, though. We know that.
There was, but again, it's different than. But it's also again, it's like most of the teams that are playing are like they're not playing like expansive. They're mostly playing expansive football, going out. They're not playing like rigid defensive football that a lot of midfield teams. So, like I said, it's like a league is different than a cup competition. United, as we said, were trash. In the league, but like in the cup competitions against it, they somehow under Ten Hag were able to beat Liverpool and beat City and lift the trophy. So playing okay when we did that. So yeah, I think Arsenal. Then I'll say probably Liverpool. Then I'll say Chelsea, and then I'll say Manchester City, because I do think Manchester City I don't think they're going to be. I think the Rodri situation has not been fixed. The Rodri situation has not been fixed, and he's injured again. And so we're getting into a situation where this guy is becoming injury prone, and they've not fixed the Rodri situation. And that apparently that was a big thing, because if Højlund, and I said the same with City last season, it's like if Højlund doesn't score, who scores for City? There isn't,
they've not gotten another striker, have they?
They've not got another striker. They've not got another striker. They've not fixed the Rodri situation. So I'm like, I don't see how. And De Bruyne is gone, who's a creator. So I don't who creates a lot for Højlund. So I'm like, I don't. How have they fixed, in my opinion, what were the key issues? And defensively, again, like, have they really signed anyone that I could say have improved? They're even going to sign Donnarumma, who I think is worse than Ederson. I think Donnarumma is a worse keeper than Ederson.
That's a proper signing. I thought that was just a link.
Well, they're in talks, so to speak. So, because Ederson's thinking of going, but for me, like, Donnarumma is worse than Ederson. Like, he's like, don't let what he did in the Champions League last season fool you to think like this. He's been at PSG for 4 years, and I still remember when Benzema just decided to just take the ball off his feet and put the ball in the back of the net in the Champions League as if it was nothing.
Yes, 1 second. We're forgetting Mamouche. Rasmus just put that in the comments. Mamouche is actually
Mamouche is good. Mamouche is good. Mamouche is a second striker. I agree with that. I agree, but even that, I don't think alone. I think will be enough compared to what I think the other teams sort of have with their balance. You know, who did City even beat last season? Like they didn't even beat us, Eddie. Eddie, we were crap last season. They didn't even beat us.
Was it a draw and lost? Yeah.
They drew and lost.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did they beat Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, or did they beat any of those guys?
Can't remember.
I can't remember.
Bad season. It was so bad. I just can't see them doing that bad again. I think they're just going to be a wounded animal, bro.
They might, and I could be wrong because I know Pep had some personal stuff, so I could be wrong. So it's just that I've not seen from what they've done that they fixed the issues that they had. So I'm like, and already, like, you know, you said you look at the Club World Cup. I was like, how can I don't care. You guys got dunked on by Al Hilal. You're saying that it was playing for the money. You made the Saudi League relevant. You made the Saudi like people like the Saudi League, because now people are taking the Saudi League seriously because Al Hilal came and dunked on you. This is the Saudi League. You know what I mean? You know, so, and they had the signings then. I don't think there was any major injuries. I know it was the end of the season, but they weren't in the Champions League for a while. They weren't competing for the league for a while. So,
yes, we know they're going to get better there. People like Cherky, come on, just bona fide baller.
I think they will. I just think that, like, I don't know this. I just have a sneaky feeling that, like, it's third or fourth. So I have them fourth.
Oh.
I'll quickly speed for that was what I'm saying, because I know we're going too late. So, and I'll read some comments quickly. But yeah, fifth. Fifth, I'm gonna say Spurs. Actually, do I say? Oh, this is tricky. Because I actually think Villa will drop off. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna play fifth place United, sixth place Spurs, and then seventh place Villa, because I think Villa will drop off, and I also think Newcastle, because of this whole, unless Newcastle sorts out this Isak situation, I think that's going to be a significant blow to the way on top of the fact that they're going to be playing additional games. I don't think their squad is good enough for like it happened like last time when they win the Champions League. The squad didn't have the depth, and they suffered in the league, so they didn't qualify for the following season. I think that'll happen again, from what I can see, unless Alanga cooks, in which case then I'm happy to revise my my predictions. So yeah, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, City, United, Spurs, and then Villa will be my top seven. Wow. And then so I give us there is some optimism. There is some
see that City finishing fourth. I'm like, really? Pep will definitely be gone if they do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of here.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
5-1 against 5-1 against Arsenal. Yeah, exactly, Rasmus. I remember that 5-1 against Arsenal. 5-1 against Arsenal. No.
I really hope your prediction happens. Obviously, it's better for United, and Pep gone means we don't see we're going to see less of this.
Oh yeah, because this is
less people copying that football.
This is his final. This is his final season, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Like, okay.
I think this is his final season, isn't it? Is he going into his? Is he going into one? I think he is.
He signed a 2-year extension last season. No, I think it'll be.
I think it was the season before.
Was it?
I think it was the season before. He signed a 2-year
last season, bro. 2-year extension last season. I'm pretty sure. You put in the comments if you know, but I think it was.
What was I going to say? Yeah, okay. So quickly, because I said we're almost 2 hours. That's definitely over time. I'm sorry. So we'll forget about the mid, but what about relegation? Who do you think is going to get relegated? And then quickly, who's going to be the surprise team of the season?
Oh, I'm not even thought about this, but dare I say the three that come up, yeah, they go down again.
Yeah, so
But,
that'll be Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland.
but then again, I've heard like Sunderland. Who's the guys that are spending a lot?
Yeah, Sunderland have spent quite a bit. I mean,
Yeah.
that might not be enough, but Sunderland have definitely spent a bit and spent quite wisely because they sold what's his name, Joe Bellingham for like about like 40 million or something like that, and they've kind of used that money amongst other things.
You know what? I'll change it real quick. Yeah.
Hmm.
Leeds go down. Who's the other one?
So it was Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland.
Yeah. Burnley, Leeds go down. Sunderland, I reckon that money will work some wonders for them. I reckon one of these guys that's been knocking on the relegation door, like an Everton. Oh no, because David Moyes.
Everton will find a way. They've been knocking, but I have a thing they'll find a way.
Yeah, I don't think Moyes is gonna. Yeah, because Moyes is good with tactics there as well. It'll be one of these teams that's been knocking on that door.
Let's see what was last season. This is the table last season.
Yeah.
I think it might be Wolves. I have a feeling maybe this season. I think it could be Wolves' time to go back down. I would say Sunderland might, especially with likes of Cunha gone and some of their key players that have left. I don't know if they've reinforced them. I don't know. I think
they've just got this good footballer from a Football World Cup. I think it was Arias. I think he's a Flamengo player. He's good. I think he played for Flamengo. It was one of these Brazilian teams. The thing is about Wolves, real quickly. They keep getting in these Portuguese or Brazilian.
Yeah, dogs.
You know what I mean? They know how to get these continental players that are good. So I think they might actually sort themselves out. I don't know, you know. Could be Wolves or Everton. Can you scroll up a little bit?
West Ham's another, but again, in my mind, I'm thinking they're too big to, like, I feel like because they have money. Because the thing is, a lot of it is like, if these teams are in danger, I know these teams will sack the coaches and they have money to especially in World Cup, to sort things out. You know, I think the likelihood is what's going to happen is that the three teams that came up are probably going to go back down again. Just if there's anyone that's going to survive, I think it will be Sunderland, and then it would be one of the teams. Because I mean, I'm looking at this and thinking like, this is like, I mean, potentially could Brentford capitulate? I mean, if Wissa goes,
just gonna say, they've lost their manager and all these other players.
Yeah, Brentford will probably want to look out.
I think, okay, that's my three: Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley. Brentford have lost too much talent.
Yeah, Rasmus, you clocked on. Brentford losing so many players and their coach no experience. Now that you think about that, Brentford, I think that I think Sunderland to stay up, just Brentford, Burnley, and Leeds. I think to go back down. I think that's definitely. And then lastly, what about? Is Mamouche on back? Is Mamouche? He's a second striker, but I wouldn't say that he's like a backup in a sense that he's like, if Haaland's injured, you just slot Mamouche in and he'll basically be a striker. Like I probably wouldn't put him in that kind of like vein, you know.
Well, he can do it. I don't know how he's going to be used, because to have him just as a sub, is going to be so wasted. But
you can't drop Haaland, can you?
No. Or maybe you can, like, because sometimes when he's out of the game, he's just out of the game. Maybe he changes up.
But he's not done that, and you know, I don't know. I don't know what really Pep's doing, because like you think, oh, he's playing this book away, but he's signing players that are different. Like I said, if he signs Donnarumma, I'm like, you downgrade your goalkeeper. For goalkeeper, he can't play with his feet, which apparently you like. His distribution is not that good. He's a decent shot stopper. I'm not saying he's not a bad shot stopper, but he's certainly not a Pep goalkeeper. And you're going to sign
him. If he signs him, that means he's changing that football. Could we see long ball Pep?
We could be seeing
Imagine.
we could also be seeing a lot more goals. Like aside from penalty shootouts, we could be seeing a lot more goals conceded because
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first to clown Donnarumma when he I was gassed if it was coming because I was like, it's at least better than Onana. But I'm not gonna lie, like it will be funny. What was yeah, okay, yeah, and lastly, so before we go, like what was the surprise team?
Oh, that's a hard one, man. I'll let you start with that, bro. I need to think a little bit on that.
Let's have a quick look. What was the surprise team? Was saying Spurs as a surprise team? Is that really? I don't know whether would I say Spurs as a surprise team. If that really does that count? Because they're obviously a reasonable team. So, but they finished so low last season that I don't know whether. So I think the two teams that come to my mind are Spurs and Bournemouth. Because Bournemouth, I think, because even though Bournemouth have lost a lot of their players, it still seems like they've got a philosophy and they've got a good coach that can get the best, as we saw in this Liverpool game, that can get the best out of said players. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth, like last season, at least push for Europe instead of battling relegation. And then, like I said, I think the only thing would be Spurs, and that I think that Spurs, even though I said they finished below United, I wouldn't be surprised if they finish in the top four. Especially if they get Eze on top of the players that they already have. Because I mean, I watched that PSG game and I was like, whatever you say about them bottling it, they still were the better team for like 75 minutes of that game.
Yeah.
Like PSG were trash for most of that game, you know. And I guess, you know, they didn't have a preseason, whatever, but you could clearly see, and this goes again back to the whole giving managers time. Thomas Frank has gone in, and you're like, they're playing different.
Yeah, that counter pressing was really good, man.
Yeah, so it's like, how long does it really take for you to get the players? Why is it only at United that managers need 2 or 3 seasons to get their philosophy and get their players ready? And yet, every other club, a new manager comes in, you're like, oh, that's different to how, you know, the previous manager was playing. I get what they're doing. Why at United? It has to take time. I don't know.
It's just the weird pressure, man. Man United play with the pressure of champions, but play like relegation for them. Weird. Yeah. By the way, Rob's put in Everton in the comments because of Jack Grealish going there. Could Jack Grealish be the talisman?
Could he?
That's a shout, you know.
I just think Everton. Who's the striker though? Because Calvert-Lewin is gone, so who's their number 9?
Isn't that big Brazilian guy? What's his name? That big tank front. Forgot his name. It begins with B. What's his name? Beto.
Yeah. Beto, maybe. Yeah, it was okay. And defensively, yeah. I mean, he could make a difference, Everton. So, but I just think Everton's squad from sort of is so mediocre that like I'm not expecting them to do. Like, I'm expecting Everton to be below mid-table compared to a lot of the. I mean, when we look at some of these teams, even with Grealish, I'd still put these guys. Brentford would give Everton a good. Well, okay, maybe not Brentford. Brighton would give them a good game. Burnley, who knows? Chelsea would give them a good game. Crystal Palace could beat them. Fulham would give them a good game. City good game. United will give them a good game. Newcastle will. Forest will. Sunderland might. Spurs might. Bournemouth would give them. So when I look at all the teams from top to 20, I'm like, I can't see any of these teams that I would say Everton are definitely going to slap. Aside from like some promoted teams, maybe they might give Wolves a good game and West Ham.
Yeah,
that's about it. Really,
football's just not going to be good enough with Moyes, isn't it? It's too pragmatic. You know what? Yeah, I just thought of my team that could like just exceed expectations. I just see Crystal Palace could be a problem for this division. Like, obviously, they've just won these 2 cups. Yeah. You got
Yeah.
confidence. That manager knows tactics. He's obviously defying people that think that 3-4-3 can't work in the Prem. Yeah, it can. Just watch this guy manage. So
my only thing with Crystal Palace is that because obviously they're going to be in the Conference League, and unlike Chelsea, where like they just for the most of the league they just played subs and kids, etc. I think Palace are going to play like their full strength team in that competition. So do I think that as good as Palace are, do I really think Palace have the depth to play in 4 competitions, especially the Conference League on a Thursday? I don't think so. So I think they'll pick up injuries. They'll start well, but I think they'll pick up injuries and they'll struggle. And much like when Glasner managed Frankfurt, like Frankfurt, they won the Europa League, but I'm pretty sure they finished. Someone else might correct me in the chat, but I'm pretty sure they finished mid-table. You know, because they just didn't have the depth.
Yeah, I think mid-table.
Yeah, so because they didn't have the depth of squad, you know, they didn't. So I think it'll be, you know, I think that probably.
But if they win the Conference League, though, I think that's.
Well, no, exactly. Yeah, if they win the Conference League,
is that a surprise if they win that? I'm not sure.
Yes. I think it still is. With the team when you get to the semis and you got teams like Betis and maybe Roma or Fiorentina or different stuff like that, I'd still say it'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
Chelsea winning it wasn't a surprise because like Chelsea should be in the Conference League basically. So like,
so they're my surprise team to win the conference. Then that's Palace.
Yeah.
So man, 3 cups, man. Imagine that, man. Them fans will be just too happy.
Exactly, you know, like, and worse if they still get like, if we're in a situation where Arsenal, I picked them as favourites and they still don't win a trophy, and Palace have still got like more trophies than Arsenal the last 2 or 3 seasons, and Spurs, like every London club and Arsenal do, then yeah, I don't care if they're finishing second or third. Like you can't have that where like your other London smaller clubs, even West Ham have won a trophy more recently than you to the Conference League. Like everyone has, and it's like, when was the last time you won a trophy? Oh, it was with Aubameyang, and you kicked him out like at the beginning of your career.
You know what? I think the board at Arsenal will be all right with top 4, right? But I think the fans will make it so unbearable.
Yeah,
the pressure on Arteta to go. If all these London teams are winning, it will be too much.
Right. Let me quickly read some of the stuff comments as we round up, and then I'll leave to Eddie. Last question, which is: do you think that Amram will survive? I'll let just think about that briefly while I quickly just check some questions. So not questions. Some. I won't be able to read up all the comments, but I'll try and get through a lot of them, as much as I can. Sheriff says league positions: Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Liverpool, City, and Newcastle. Yeah, I'd still have City. And I mean, if there's one team that could implode aside from United, obviously outside United, I do think City could potentially implode again. I do think City could potentially. They've got good players, but I don't know. Like, there's just something about. I just feel like they're just vulnerable in that defense. And if Haaland, if you basically get Haaland out of the game, I don't really know. Yeah, okay, Mamouche and Cherki can sort of do this sort of stuff, but like I don't know. There's just something about this going and sing where I just think that I think City could potentially falter, especially with Rodri not being there again. Manchester United put out a statement. Put a statement on. Oh, Obi won't be going on loan. Okay, that's interesting. If that's true. Why do you think we did not go for Oidemund at the start? Is he slow? Amra doesn't believe his own. Or I don't know. I don't know. Is the answer that Shivram? I've got no idea why Amra didn't go for him. Maybe Joker has told him something, or they've fallen out. Rob says, "Oh, I was swiping Gazelles, but not going to lie. Oh, this is my favorite channel. Please." Oh, thanks, Rob. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I should appreciate your support. Thank you so much. If Adam Norton's for sale, why are we going for getting the sponsor? I guess we could go for Adam Norton. I forgot about Diego. Yeah, we do have Diego. I mean, I didn't see that much from him in preseason. I think we're still going to decide whether he's going to be in the first team, whether he's going to go in the under-21s. But yeah, I mean, I will still keep him as good. I'd rather he compete with Dorgu and get better than we use Dallo as a makeshift left back, because Dallo was trash as a makeshift left back. So let's, if unless Diego is garbage, then like put him as competition for Dorgu. Don't put Shaw there, and definitely don't put Dallo there. That's a good team you picked there, guys. I will go with that. Thanking you. I think that's Liverpool won 4-2 tonight. They look good first game. I hate to say it, but they will win the league. It pains me to watch. Please don't Rob. It's. I'm hoping.
I'm hoping. Ekitike are just going to keep growing, and we have to deal with it. That's it.
I'm hoping just that like they can get some cheeky. We can take some cheeky points to. So I don't know. Yeah. United is a surprise team.
Sorry, I was going to say Salah doesn't even look like he's slowing down. It still looks like he's got speed. That's annoying.
It's scary.
He's old by now, man.
Especially if they get if somehow Liverpool get Isak into this team, I might have to concede the title, man. I might have to concede it. Like if Fabrizio's transfer day deadline and it's like, here we go, Isak to Liverpool, I'm like, just give them the title. I just give them the title, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. United is a surprise team this season. We're getting third. Yeah, probably. Rasmus, I hope Chelsea will win among teams. I can't stand them for free, but I know your rival of HH are there. So yeah, if Chelsea win the league, HH will be insufferable. Like it's difficult. It's difficult. Like my preference is Arsenal because I have less beef with them because I don't really care what Arsenal do because they don't have a Champions League, they don't have a treble, and they barely have any Premier titles, so it's fine. But if Chelsea,
HH is already unbearable with the World Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Set up the league, nah.
No, it would not be ideal, guys. What was his first? Liverpool, second City, third Arsenal, fourth Chelsea, Man U fifth. If we can make more signings, like I said, I'm similar to that. Tactical, appreciate it. And Texas impressed with Talk Talks a bigger pitch, not about social clickbait nonsense. And I only do 2 or 3 streams a week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean that if you're watching and still watching, go and subscribe to Tactical Devils, man. Yeah, I'm definitely not one for the clickbaity type of stuff. And to be honest, I don't have that much time for streams these days. So 2 streams a week, which is basically going to be a watch along and possibly bringing back the United Forum for kind of like a.
Oh, you're bringing that back, yeah?
I think I might bring the United Forum back. Yeah, I need to just figure out a day. It's probably looking like it might be Monday nights. I think that might be what it might be. Monday nights or Tuesday nights for the United Forum. So, but I'll put a poll up and see what people prefer.
Do you still talk to Chainsaw? I remember him. He's one of
Chainsaw.
Yeah, he used to be on all the time.
Yeah, those are some good rival streams right there, man. Yeah. So, but I might have to keep my head down this time. Let's look. What's his name? According to Pep, Man City will be stronger season, and last season, not as fit, but this season I'll be back. Well, let's see, Pep. Let's see. 2-year extension last season for Pep. Yeah, okay. So and I guess then, yeah. So it would presumably would be next season. Then he's going. Everton will cook. I'm not sure about that. Everton with Jack. Yeah, I mentioned that. Bournemouth, Areola is seemingly still cooking. Don't know if it lasts for the whole season. But Bournemouth definitely want to watch out. Definitely. Eze wants Arsenal. My bro doesn't want. Yeah, Eze put. I don't know if he'll go to. It's not confirmed whether he'll go to Spurs. I think he probably wants to go to Arsenal. I said if Arsenal get Eze, I think that's a different. Again, it's a different story. Cruz Abbas a good shout. Rasmus talking of Everton, Garner better than what we've got in the midfield. Probably. Mega says, nope, no one survives with that midfield. Nope, no one survives with that midfield. I think is that in relation to United, Mega, I'd imagine.
I think you're talking about Amorim with that.
Oh, no one survived. Yeah, as in Amorim isn't going to survive. Probably not, to be honest. Predicting Liverpool finishing below United is wild. Would love it though. If that happens, I'm cooking everybody. If somehow there is an alternative multiverse where United finish above Liverpool for the first time in goodness knows long, I'm going to be cooking a lot of people. But it's not going to happen. It is what it is. And lucky, once you Champions League have, you know what's going to happen. It will fall apart. Injuries, exactly. So, final things because we've been speaking for too long. Do you think Ruben Amorims will survive, Eddie?
I think I'm not sure, man. What came to mind is that you get this season, right? So yeah, he survives this season, but I don't think it's going to be as good as optimistic fans want, right? I include you in that, saying top 5, right? I think 8th is the ceiling, unfortunately, from what I've seen. But yeah, I think because of how bad the Ten Hag thing went, right? Because you can't just blame all last season on Amorim. He's just like with Ralph, right? Uncle Ralph, when he was here, trying to clean up Ole's mess.
Ralph didn't finish 15th though. Ralph, it's like we had a bad thing, but we still managed. We finished. When did we finish? Because we still were European last season, so he must have been. He couldn't have finished below 6th.
It might have been.
It wouldn't have been. It must have been because we played. I don't think we got into the Champions League. We played Europa League football, so he must have got a 6th. So I'm like, so all the criticism that he got at the time with everything on his squad, he still managed with those bums to still get in top 6.
It was one of the worst. I think it was one of the worst seasons at the time, which is why Ralph got blamed so much. But yeah,
because of Cristiano. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But yeah, I'll wrap up then. Yeah, I think he survives the season, finishing just 8th, because there's this attacks of Ten Hag, so I reckon he gets more time next season.
I think that I do think that if fundamentally, if Man United is serious and this is going to be a long-term program, and we're not going to just continue repeating the cycle of sacking managers out, then he's not going to be sacked this season. Because I generally don't know what is going to happen with all the money that's been invested and with all the hype and all the talk, etc. And this is basically being Ineos's, because Ten Hag wasn't Ineos's manager. And the reality is they actually wanted to sack him after the FA Cup. It's just that the people they wanted to get weren't available, and Amorims wasn't on the radars of yet. So it was kind of like, okay, well, we'll just continue it for another season, and then they obviously got rid of him. This is the first Ineos hired manager, so unlike the Glazers and people who might give him some time or might whatever, I don't know. I think that for Ineos, it's like, no, we're trying to show that we're different, that we're not going to make the same things as the past. We're not just going to change things nilly. So I think they will stick with him. I think they will stick with him for the full season, unless he just completely loses the dressing room and his position becomes untenable. And I'd like to think that, given the fact that you've let out a lot of the more disruptive players. You've got Rashford has gone to Barca, Garnacho's going to be sold, Sancho's gone, etc. So I don't think there are many players that are left in that dressing room now that I would say that I would describe as disruptive. Bruno is going to be back him no matter what, because it's Bruno, he's the captain, they're both Portuguese. So there's going to be that. Likewise, Maguire and some of the senior players, they're going to back him because he's given them opportunities. So I don't really see the team turning against Amorim, because I don't really see anyone that's will be currently left in the squad that will cause him problems. You know, so with that in mind, I think he'll stay. Now, whether that translates into us performing Wellington, I don't know. But at worst, if it does collapse, I just think it will be a situation of see to the end of the season, and then while the season overs, United will be trying to think about, you know, who can come in, who can transition, who can help with this team without needing as much, you know, support. But for now, yeah, I don't think he gets sacked. I think he'll survive at least this season, assuming that United, you know, improve. I think I can say United are not going to finish 15th this season. I think I should be able to say that because like I said, the majority we aren't. Yes, our midfield is something not great, but I still do believe that one of the main reasons we finished 15th was because we weren't able to score. And I do think that our attack with Sesko, with Kunin and Bremer is far better than Sesko, Kunin and Bremer is better than, I don't know, Højlund, at times Bruno, sometimes Mount, sometimes Xerxes, sometimes Ahmad in a front three. It just is. Yeah. Like it just is.
Then Garnacho,
yeah, exactly. It just, so I anticipate that we will score more goals, and because I think we will score more goals, we will either draw or win more games. Maybe not to the top 5 level, etc., but certainly not to the point where like you're like 15 because you can't score like a single goal because you can't break down a team, etc. You know, would be my thing. You know, but you know, we'll see if it happens, especially because we are playing 1 game a week. I do think that will be a massive difference from an injury squad point of view, where like you don't have the cups for now, you're only playing 1 game a week, other rivals have multiple games a week. You can just focus on just, you know, getting the game, and you're not going to have, hopefully not have as many injuries as before, where key players are going to be out.
You know, so even with injuries, real quickly, even with injuries, I expect this young coach to be getting enough time to be helping this academy, or you know what I mean. There's got to be that kind of translation throughout the club, you know.
No, I don't disagree. Yeah. I don't disagree. Right, okay, guys. I think we've got to bounce because it is we've been doing for almost 2.5 hours. It should have been 1 hour, but there was a lot to talk about. So because we started like 9:30, and it's almost midnight in the UK. Like it's tomorrow morning, you know. So thank you so much for everyone in the chat. Really, really appreciate it, and everyone who's getting involved. Really support. Make sure that you head out and check out Eddy's 2 channels. Eddy, do you want to just shout out your socials and channels and stuff like that before we head?
Yeah, so the main one I'm focusing on is the Prem Proven Tunes. So if you like football animation, just get over there and subscribe, please. And yeah, man, thanks for having me on. It's been an interesting stream.
Yeah,
and I really can't wait to see if we're gonna see some proper business on the pitch in terms of a league title race, and obviously Man United, seeing if they can get serious again. But yeah, big up the chat, man.
Big up, guys. Big up, guys. Remember, guys, like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us to Red Devil Studio X on Twitter and Twitch as well. Subscribe to the 2nd channel on Red Devil Multiverse. We're putting a few videos up there on there shortly as well. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace, peace, peace.